he's put a lot into this club, but if it's kind of too much for him, then that's, what's best for him, and that's what's good. But yeah, definitely a hard one to fill.
The positive, Fergus Green stays on next year, so I understand the club's out seeking for another internal co-coach to help him, whether or not that might be an off-field coach, I imagine. So getting another name in, but still having the familiarity of Fergus's coach will be pretty big for the club next year as well.
Yeah, massive. I think Ferg stepped into it really, really well, and I think it's always good to have that support, especially when you're starting your career early as a coach. So it'd be good to get someone in to take a bit of load off of Ferg, especially since he's playing. So yeah, excited for what's to come.
Lockie, on today's game, how do you see it? What does Sandhurst have to do to win today's game? Gisborne never easy to come up against. What does Sandhurst have to do well today in able to take a win out against Gisborne and pretty much lock in that top spot with the win today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see too much else other than just playing our game and just holding true to our sort of game style and putting all those pieces together. I think our form's been really good. It's probably just keeping that full quarter effort, which they had really good 4 quarters last week. Got a good team for it.
Who do you see as the top other side other than yourself, you reckon, come finals time? So other than Sandhurst, who do you think is that one side that you don't want to come up against that you reckon are going to be really strong come finals?
Yeah, you can't really split too many of them. I think every team's kind of peaking at the right time, and I think we haven't really seen the best of Eaglehawk like on our end yet, so they're probably like one of those ones you've got to be more concerned about. But I'd probably say Gisborne. I think their team's really, really solid across the board, and this will be a really good finals preview, I reckon.
Looking forward to this one. Lockie, we'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us here pre-game. Firstly, all the best with your recovery, and hopefully we can see you back out there for the start of next season, and hopefully it goes well for you across the pre-season.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
That was Lockie Hood from the Sandhurst Dragons. Unfortunately suffered a pretty serious ankle injury against Kangaroo Flat 3 weeks ago, so never good when you see an injury like that where the game has to be stopped for a period of time. So not ideal for him, and he's a classy player for Sandhurst too. So it does leave a big hole in their side, Mick. But who are some of the players in this Sandhurst side? You had a good look at them last week, and they got a big win against Strathfield, say by 1 point.
Yeah,
that have filled that role.
I'll address one of those questions at a time, Cam, but yes, ripping bloke is Lockie. You just heard the way that he spoke about his club, the players within the club, the lesser knowns getting recognition as well. You can tell as a totality that everyone's buying into the system, and they are going to be a force come the end of the year. For today, we're going to look at some of the underrated names for Sandhurst, Cam. We're going to look at Connor Sexton, who I thought he did a more than admirable job last week in the ruck against Strathfield. Say more than held his own. He's going to have a big job today, but yeah, if he can at least split the ruck 50-50, then that'll go a long way towards Sandhurst winning. But also I want to highlight Hugh Smetzer. So we've seen the last couple of weeks when Hugh plays in that backup ruck role, he's often utilised as a fifth on baller. So there are times where he won't go up in the ruck and Sandhurst will rove to the opposition. If you see that happening today, Sandhurst having that +1 at stoppage, that could be big for them as well.
Counting down to the start of the game, both teams are out on the ground warming up. We've got Steve Navort down at ground level. Steve, you've just been down there for the toss of the coin, and it's bathed in sunshine out there.
Yes, absolutely, bathed in sunshine it is down here, Cameron. Zach Vescovi has just won the toss for Gisborne and has elected to kick to the Barnard Street end of the ground. Probably about a 2 or 3 goal breeze going towards that end of the ground at the moment, so I'd keep an eye on that throughout the game.
So looking forward to it. There is a breeze going down there at the moment. No rain or anything on the weather forecast today. So other than that, the conditions should be pretty good for footy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are perfect for footy. The ground feels nice and not too soft, not too hard, just right underfoot.
Now yourself, where are you leaning in the game today?
After what happened down at the graveyard that day, that was the turning point for Sandhurst season, I feel. And after that, I feel like it's hard to tip against Sandhurst today.
Sandhurst for you. Steve will be joining us down on boundary level across the day as well. Looking forward to having you a part of our broadcast. Myself, Cam Power, Father Jackson Saunders heading up the call. Mick Delaney on special comments. Ray Pinner in the back with the tech support. John Hunter pushing all the buttons. Norm Jenkins here with us as well in the background as well with some other scores and stats this afternoon. But we're looking forward to this one. Mick, who wins this game and why in your opinion?
I'm going the upset. I think Gisborne win. Sandhurst have been on the last couple of weeks. Last week was very physical at Tannery Lane against Strathfield, so getting the chocolates by a point. But Gisborne, you can't count them out. You can never count them out. And I do have some numbers here, Cameron, just quickly before both teams line up for the mental health round. So Gisborne and Eagle Hawk are fighting it out for third spot, and more importantly, that second chance. Gisborne 1,770 points for, 921 against. Eagle Hawk 1,574 for, which is about 194 less, and 987 against, which is about 66. Eagle Hawk have a bye, and then they've got Broadford. If Gisborne win today, Eagle Hawk get the points, then it's going to be down a percentage. It could end up being that if Gisborne beat Broadford by 200 points or more, Eagle Hawk beat Broadford next week by 200 points or more, they could sneak into third spot. So what was looking like it more than, locked in top three only a couple of weeks ago, or even as long ago as last week, it could change.
So I'm looking at the ladder now, Gisborne, Eagle Hawk tied. Gisborne would have to drop that game next week against Golden Square. Am I wrong? I don't think you get you don't get 4 points for a draw for a bye, do you?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I didn't think you did, so...
You do.
There you go, that keeps it alive. I was under the impression it was just a straight 0 for Bendigo footy. Looking at the ladder, it says Gisborne have had 10 wins for 40 points on the ladder, so might be one to keep an eye on. That's an interesting point, though, you do make. That top three well and truly up for grabs. Father Jackson Saunders, Mick's made the call. I was going to say Gisborne is my bold call for today to win the game, so I might have to change that a little bit. Who wins today? And give us a little bit of a bold prediction as well.
Well, I'm not sure if I'll give a bold prediction or an audacious one, to use my favourite word, but I think Sandhurst will win. I think it's perfect conditions today. They've got a quality outfit. Last weekend they had a 1-point victory, a thrilling win over the Strathfield Say Storm, 1964 to 9963 at Tannery Lane. They've got 4 interleague players in today's side to do Sandhurst, Kobe Maxted, Fergus Green, Lachlan Wright and Caleb Connick. So I think they will be too strong, just the home ground advantage. Obviously, Bryce Curnow has announced that he's stepping down as co-coach. We've touched on that. His record at the Dragons has been sensational since 2023. 60 wins from 71 games as a co-coach. So he's had a lot of success, and clearly Sandhurst will be wanting to get as much momentum as they can headed into September.
Sorry, Cameron, you are right. I've fact-checked myself. 0 points for a bye, which means if Gisborne win today, they lock in third. If they don't, it's down to next week.
Should be fascinating. Huge game for them to come. Give us a bold call, Mick. My bold call for today's game is Gisborne to win. I'm going 8 goals to be kicked by McKenna. And on the Sandhurst side of things, Jack Keating 100% disposal efficiency with more than 20 touches.
Oh, bold call. Is it a bold call if I say Gisborne win, Brad Benaki has 50 touches?
Well, not necessarily, because last week Brad Benaki had 28 kicks and 33 hand passes.
Oh, did he?
That's not a bad game at all.
I went a week early.
So that's a total of 61 touches
what's less
last
likely
weekend.
to happen nowadays? Benaki having 50 or McKenna kicking 10, because it seems to happen on a relatively odd occasion.
When you're talking about midfielders who can kick goals, though, they are vital in any makeup of a good team. And the fact that Brad Benaki's played 14 games, 14 best players, 19 goals for the year, it adds another element to their forward craft.
Local footy, the place you want to be. It's fresh live. Sandhurst and Gisborne from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Here's Father Jackson Saunders.
It's the penultimate round, and straight away Shane Clough took it out of the middle. He snapped to half forward for Gisborne. Good tackling from the Sandhurst defence across half back. Field umpire John Norton says, "Give it to me. We'll have a ball up." 40 metres out from Gisborne's goal. In the ruck contest, no one can get clean hands to it. Matthew Wilkinson is there. Also, Harrison Free dives on top of it. Not free, though, and wrapped up in a tackle. A ball up.
Good lineup of umpires we've got today. Dean Goodrich out there, John Norton and Kobe Hilson. So good trio for this cracking game of footy. As the ball's contested out of there, we're going to get a repeat ball up. Ball's moved about 10 metres further forward to the centre of the Queen Elizabeth Oval. 45 seconds into this one. Umpire Norton throws it up in the air. Sexton wins it down. Wilkinson throws it on his boot. Goes down the line. No mark taken. First to the footy there for Gisborne was Thomas. Couldn't quite control it. They work it backwards to the Dogs. Paddling around half back. They're under all sorts of pressure. Ollie Morris comes to lay a strong tackle, and he will get rewarded with a ball up 55 out from goal.
Field umpire John Norton has it. In the earlier games today, it was Sandhurst by 75 points in the under-18s, and in the reserves a 34-point win to the Dragons too. So So far today, Sandhurst with victories in the first 2 games. They'd love to make it a clean sweep this afternoon. Ball's thrown up in the ruck contest. Tapped down by Riley Evans, very close to the boundary line. Green gets it out. Austin there too for Sandhurst. Lachlan Evans opposes well. Clough whacks it forward about 20 metres. Adam Brand-Catazano attempts to get the footy. He gets it now. Quick hand pass to Lachlan Evans. Good. They combine. Brand-Catazano. He's got it to Gray. He's tackled from behind. Centre wing. Swimming pool side. And a magnificent effort there by Cooper Smith, the skipper, and he sends it to centre half back for the Dragons.
He does. Mark's taken here by the Dragons through Howard. They'll switch it out wide. The kick towards Connick was a shocker. It come from Sandhurst. Lockie right. It's gone straight to Gisborne's Lucas Hannon, who sends it into McKenna, who runs into an open square and slams it through. So a big mistake early from Lockie Wright results in the first goal of the day to the Dogs. 1 straight 6 Gisborne, no score. Sandhurst score sponsor is Jason Westcott Builder.
Something that Sandhurst notoriously do well is using the ball coming out of D50, but Lockie right there butchering the ball, looking to switch. It was intercepted immediately by Gisborne. They went long and found Paddy McKenna all by himself, the current Ron Best leader in goals with 68 now for the year. Sorry to the kids at home that wanted to do the 6-7 Cam, but Pat McKenna with the first.
Yes, I've done that once or twice as a trick in my work with schools, and it always gets a cheap laugh, Mick. The 6-7, although with the visual element of radio, that doesn't quite work from this perspective. In the middle, it's tapped down by Connor Sexton in the ruck for the Sandhurst Dragons. Connick at ground level wants to get it. Matthew Wilkinson feeds it out. Does well. Concedes a little territory. Comes to Cooper Smith. Centre wing, but he's pushed off it. Gray does well. Hand pass misses the intended target. Sexton gets in the way for the Dragons. He works it towards the boundary line. Keeping it alive is Dominic Sullivan. Only momentarily, though, because the ball's gone out of bounds. And we'll need it thrown back in. Mick Delaney on Local Footy, Fresh Live.
Brand-Catazano off. He's caught one to the nose. Bit of claret going.
It's actually going to be a free kick to Sandhurst, Father Jackson, by the looks. Matt Wilkinson's got the footy across half back for Sandhurst. He's just going to come down the grandstand side wing. Kick just landed in the middle of everyone. They all let and watched it bounce. It was then slammed forward for the Dragons. They'll pick up the footy at the top of the 50, but a good tackle from James Gray. And we'll have a ball up. Finals kicked off in the Heathcote Footy League as well, and there was a draw in the under-18s for the first final. Mount Pleasant and Lockington 44 apiece. Mount Pleasant winning out by 2 goals in the end in extra time to kick off the Heathcote League final series.
Looks like Stephen Devort's made his way down to the Gisborne bench. He'll get back to us shortly with an update on Brand-Catazano.
We'll keep a close eye on that, Dean. Goodrich throws the ball aloft on a pain of 50, or just outside, in fact, for Gisborne Barnard Street End. Most players around this contest. James Gray there. Lots of players at the bottom of the pack. A good tackle from Boyd. Nolder for Gisborne ensured that the ball is locked across their forward 50 arc. So we'll have it thrown up. Not much space to work with for players from either side. Sexton smashes it about 20 metres towards the centre square. No one can get clean possession though. Ball spills out to Gisborne. Harry Thomas goes short with the foot pass. Spectacular to Bradley Benaki. His spearing pass is effective. 61 touches last week, Benaki. That one was a good one. Straight onto the chest of Dominic Sullivan, who has snagged 23 goals for the season and is very dangerous in this locality.
It's a pretty potent attack, isn't it, with Sullivan alongside McKenna?
So Dominic Sullivan, who's been in their best 4 times this year. That kick looks good. It's just faded at the last moment behind. 1-1-7 Gisborne. Sandhurst are yet to trouble the scorers. We've gone just over 5 minutes. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
Gives you an idea as to how strong the wind is. He's kicked that from the pain of 50 and it's landed on the shade sails behind the goals.
Certainly carried a long way. Harry Free's going to do the kicking duties for the Dragons. He plays on, goes down the poolside wing. It's a high ball. Mark is taken here. Good use of the body by Connor Sexton, who handballs off to a teammate. Fergus Green chips it down the line. Mark is taken now by the Dragons. They'll come in board from Smetzer. It's a dangerous but lovely kick which lands in Howard's mark. Howard can come further wide underneath the grandstand, so it's a full switch out to Liam Island. Island takes it. Running past trying to get the footy was Butler. Island decides against it. Gisborne set up well behind the footy here. Centre wing position, grandstand side. It's a floating kick in the breeze. And it goes straight to Liam Rogers, who takes the intercept mark for the Dogs across halfback.
He was one of 5 premiership players in the Dogs' 20 22 premiership. Rogers feeds the hand pass over the top. Does well. Hannon now receives. He got it off Dominic Sullivan. They go to half forward. The Dogs kick, though, ineffective. Jack Keaton intercepts and reads the play like a book across half back. The crowd is building here. Even Phil Carman, the former AFL footballer, is here this afternoon. Liam Ireland does well across half back. His kick a little scrappy. Once Keating found the boundary line as his friend and went out of bounds. Is it deliberate? The question's being asked up here in the box.
Keating missed his target.
Cameron thinks
I think
deliberate.
Ireland actually dropped a ball that he should have taken then, Mick. So I'm putting that one. Nolder picked it up, then he ran straight into the tackle, which allowed the Dragons to turn the footy over. Trying to find a way through will be Harrison Free. And we'll get a ball up. Grandstand side, Bryce Curnow watching on, who's got 2 more home and away games left in charge of the Sandhurst Dragons before the finals, before he steps away from coaching Sandhurst. Of course, that was the big news throughout the week from the Dragons. We'll have a repeat ball up here. Nolder first hands to it, knocked it down. It's taken away by the Dogs. He will send a little kick that just goes forward. It's a worm-burning kick. Dragons through Stagg, found some space, put it on the boot, going back courageously and taking a terrific grab for the Dragons. They'll run forward, sends it down in the Maxted direction. Vescovi got in front. He gets around Maxted, handball backwards to a teammate, over the top to Thomas, just keeps it alive. He'll come central, lovely kick, and the mark will be taken for the Dogs here by Riley Evans.
He wastes no time and kicks it to the outer side here at the famous Queen Elizabeth Oval. Thomas Werner waltzes away, kicks to half forward. He wanted Dominic Sullivan, had a couple of Sandhurst defenders against him. They prevail. Sexton got hands to it across half back. Darcy Mills courageously hit over the football. James Coughlin applies pressure, but Gisborne still work it forward. A magnificent smother across half back for Sandhurst as Gisborne looked headed into attack, and the Dragons are out across half back. James Coughlin does well. He kicks to half forward. It's a high ball. Oliver Morris, he's been around the Dragons' land for a long time here at the Den. Through the 18s, inside 50, wants Jacob Austin. Ball eludes him. He goes to ground. Terrific defensive work from the Gisborne defence. Vescovi led the way, had support from Riley Evans. Ball went out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Rifle Brigade pocket. Sandhurst with their first opportunity to score, perhaps, at the 9-minute mark of the opening term.
It was Austin that went back with that terrific, courageous mark on the wing to start off that chain of play for the Dragons. Dayton Ureta coming up a little bit sore from that last contest as well, so we'll get Steve to keep an eye at that one at ground level. Benaki's kick out of the contest went to Connick for the Dragons, picked it up, stepped his distance, sent a high ball inside forward 50 on the right, trying to juggle the mark will be Coughlin, and it's paid. 45 out directly in front of goal. Took him a couple of attempts, but James Coughlin's a very experienced player, and he doesn't like it. He goes looking in the direction of Maxted. It was a poor kick, though, and it invites Gisborne to turn it over. Harry Thomas sends it out wide towards the boundary line. Mills in a one-on-one contest with Burke. Burke one out, knocked it to Sullivan. Sullivan goes with a handball to Benaki. Benaki looks central. Nice kick back to Burke. Burke takes the mark centre wing. They're getting and going quickly, the Dogs. They've opened it up here. Chance here for Lucas Carnell. Gives the handball off to a teammate. They run it inside forward 50. Mark dropped though there. Bran Castellano. And it just lets Sandhurst off the hook. They'll send a kick out of defence down the grandstand side wing.
Through Wilson Butler up towards Jacob Austin. Nick Stagg with a Dustin Martin. Don't argue if you don't mind. Wilkinson feeds the hand pass forward. Got it to Charlie Robinson, who, was he dispossessed? No, he was penalised for holding the ball. So the penalty free kick will go to Will Elliott, and remonstrations from Bryce Curnow, the co-coach, who shakes his head in disbelief. Never mind, the play goes on for the Dogs. It's at half forward. Harry Luxmore, he's got it 65 metres out from goal. The Dogs show some composure, hoist the kick high to the pocket. Good mark has been taken. McKenna, he has it about 20 metres out from goal. He will kick on a 45-degree angle to the Barnard Street end and look for his second of the opening quarter.
Good to see Luxmore back. First game back last week since the middle of May. He kicked 8 against Broadford, so looking to add to that today. But McKenna again for his second early on.
He's kicked 68 goals for the season, 12 goals against Broadford. He is a handy player, is Pat McKenna. Off the right boot. Didn't look pretty initially, but he's got the goal-kicking class to nail it. and makes no mistake. 2-13 Gisborne. Sandhurst yet to score. Our score sponsor is Bendigo City Framers. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live.
Steve, you got an update down on boundary side?
Brian Cazziano had just come back onto the field and he had that drop mark, but he had literally been on the field for about 20 seconds. Dayton Urata's just been off the field. He looks like he's about to come back on though.
Steve Navort joining us at ground level. Brent Cassiano playing the old no one coming off the bench with me and just sneaking forward, just couldn't finish it off, but all is well that ends well if you're a Gisborne fan at the moment listening along at home here at the ground, in your car, or wherever you may be listening to our call this afternoon as they try and work another ball out. It's a free kick which is going to go the way of the Dogs. Might have been a high
Yes,
hit.
it was. Yep.
So they'll be able to send it inside forward 50 Gisborne. McKenna comes charging out again. Green got in front of him. He played a courageous role there to Green. He won it, gave it off to Wilson Butler. Butler with a little kick, which was good to Stagg. Stagg off to Smith. Smith handballs it through. Now they're away. Howard's kick will come wide. Went looking for Wilkinson. Couldn't take it on the second attempt. Good defensive work from Gisborne there through Shapano. They turn it over. James Gray, who's back after a shoulder injury earlier in the year. His second game back. Sends it out wide to Burke. Burke thumps it forward. Got it back. Handball over the top. It's going to be taken away here by Merritt. They run themselves into a little bit of trouble here, do the Dogs. Merritt's handball backwards. They go looking for Gray and they turn it over. Good pressure from the Dragons is rewarded, although the kick's not great, and it's going to be an intercept mark. So Gisborne will come central. No, in fact, they don't. They're just going to chip it down the line and the ball will be in the hands here of Jimmy Gray.
Yes, so he's got it. He got it from Brian Catasano. Rogers before that. Kick from Gray, not Flash. And Green has done that twice in recent minutes. He's gone back courageously with a flight of the ball. First time affected a spoil, and this time takes the intercepting grab. In the back pocket, swimming pool side at the Barnard Street end as Sandhurst work to clear to half back, and the kick is effective. He's got it to half back. Darcy Mills with the footy. Contemplates various options. You can hear through our effects mic. Millsy. And he gets the footy down the line, goes about 60 metres and finds Kobe Maxted, an interleague player this year in Bendigo's Ovens and Murray win earlier this year, to half forward. Cooper Smith, whistle blown, free kick picked out by John Norton, the umpire. It's going the way of Gisborne for a high infringement. Lachlan Evans receives the kick.
Handball to Gray, gets it back to Evans, he runs past. Down the line they go, the Dogs. They can look to get into some space. They'll send it inside forward 50. McKenna well read there by Wright. He probably owes them a goal after conceding the first one, Lockie Wright. So it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right-hand forward pocket, which is the Barnard Street end of the ground. The poolside change rooms here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Perfect conditions for footy. Round 17. Sandhurst and Gisborne. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live. In the ruck, Smetzer got two hands to it, knocked it down. Smith picked up the footy, was tackled straight away by Gray. It fell to Mills. Mills was tackled. And we'll have a ball up. The tackling pressure there from the Dragons. Brand Castellano, the Dogs, was really good.
There's only two players inside Sandhurst's front half of the ground at the moment. Most around the forward 50 arc or thereabouts for Gisborne. Schmetzer got the tap out to no one's particular advantage. Connor gets it by hand to Schmetzer. Hand pass smothered beautifully by Burke to the pocket. Kick from Johnston was smothered beautifully and ricochets out of bounds. The Sandhurst defence, spectacular.
Yeah, it has been. It's just a roll-on from last week's game, isn't it? The pressure's hot, the tackling's contested, and, yeah, really good footy.
Kangaroo Flat leading South Bendigo by 1 point early in that game at Dower Park. Smetzer first hand stood in the ruck. It was Merritt that went up against him. Smetzer got a handball. Just put a high ball out of there. Burke camped underneath it. Good fist from Coghlan. Went towards Harry Thomas, who assists it over the boundary line. The Storm are leading Golden Square by 2 points in that one, and it is a 27-point lead to Castlemaine over Broadford in other games in Bendigo footy today in round number 17.
Lucas Carnell awaits to compete against Hugh Smetzer in this ruck contest. Two tall giants of the Bendigo Football League. Carnell to the front position. Wilkinson front and centre, got hands to it, couldn't get clean disposal though. Ball hits the deck, another ball up forthcoming, 48 metres out from Gisborne's goal. Building crowd here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, the penultimate round, round 17 of the Bendigo Football Netball League season. Smetzer knocks it down decisively, taken though by Gray for Gisborne, and he was out of bounds perhaps with the kick. And we've just got Dean Goodrich consulting with the boundary umpire here, and Dean Goodrich says it will be a throw-in on the outer side. So it's Gisborne 2-1-13, leading Sandhurst 0. 16 minutes gone in this opening quarter of footy.
It's going to be Carnell going up in the ruck again for Gisborne. Looks like Smetzer's doing a lot of the forward ruck work for the Dragons this afternoon. And he's being held onto by Carnell, so he'll receive the free kick cue, Smetzer. Is that who you thought would be doing a lot of the ruck work for them further up the ground, Mick?
Yeah, definitely. With Sexton rotating off the bench, it'll be Smetzer today.
Kick goes out wide to Darcy Mills. Mills will get it. He'll receive a handball to Connick down the line. Got his man underneath the footy there and took a nice grab, did Urata. 60 out from goal. He'll come in on the right. He's just sent a sack straight up in the air. And an uncontested mark for Gisborne. They'll swing it out wide where it'll come. Merritt will take possession of the footy right in front of us in our broadcast position.
They did have an out on this near side, Cam, but Connor Sexton ran off just as he got the ball and stopped that fast ball movement.
Actually, Thomas Werner that had the footy. So Werner was the one that took it. His kick went central. Turnover, Ireland missed his handball to Urata, which invited the Dogs back in. They'll give the handball off here to Carnell. Carnell goes backwards to Campbell Johns. Johns then gives it to Clough. He'll send it inside forward 50. McKenna the target again, knocked away from him by Lockie Wright. We'll get a boundary throw in right hand forward pocket. And not a lot of scoring in this game, Mick Delaney. It's 2-1 and we've played 18 minutes in the opening quarter.
Now Sandhurst do this well. When the opposition's on top, they flood back and make it a bit of a scrap until they can get on top.
Boundary throwing awaits us deep in Gisborne's attack. They lead by 13 points. From the boundary throwing, it's tapped closer to Gisborne's goal. And a whistle blown. At the bottom of the pack was Sandhurst, Ollie Morris in those green boots, who takes the free kick. Goes short to the back pocket for Liam Ireland, a faithful servant of Sandhurst for as long as I've been involved with Bendigo footy. Goes back to the defensive goal line to Fergus Green. Switches once more. Still inside the defensive zone. Keating goes very short. Back to Green. So they've had about 4 kicks and still only 20 metres away from the defensive goal line. As they work it out now to Wilson Butler. Kick, though, was overcooked, and he was very disappointed with that effort. Harrison free because he's put it out of bounds. So we have a boundary throwing just in front of the Gisborne dugout at the 19-minute mark of the first quarter.
What do you think's going through Harrison Free's mind at the moment? Mickey's kicking's been very ordinary to start this game.
Yeah, it's not just him though. There's quite a few Sandhurst players that are just a bit off at the moment.
13-point lead to the Dogs. Taking away the footy there, Coughlin, who's caught by Shane Clough, and he's caught holding the ball. Had a chance to get rid of it and he didn't, so Clough was the tackler. Terrific. He looks up. What does he have inside forward 50? A lot of Sandhurst jumpers and a lot of Gisborne jumpers, so he's just going to have to send it into the hot spot, hope that someone can get a good fly at it. Carries towards McKenna. Knocked away at the last second, though, from Lockie Wright, who does well. Gives it off to Connick. He kicks it out of there, but it might be coming back because it's an intercept mark here for Lucas Hannon. So Gisborne are playing a very good brand of footy here, keeping Sandhurst not being able to move the footy around much at all. Short pass to James Gray. 60 out from goal, 10 in from the boundary, left-hand forward pocket. Barnard straight into the ground. Goes with a kick in the McKenna direction. He got a rise, knocked away from him again by Lockie Wright. It spills to the ground, and it will be a ball up. It was James Coughlin that will be tackled, and we'll get a ball up. Centre of the 50 at the Barnard, straight into the ground. The Dogs are in attack.
Bit of spirit off the ball with Fergus Green and companions. Darcy Mills sharks the clearance. Goes to centre half back. Pack develops. Good effort by Schmetzer. He just slams it on the boot. Rater, in fact, it was who got the clearing kick. Up to half forward. He wanted Henry Edwards across that half forward line. Couldn't find him. Will Ali gets back. Crunching tackle by Jacob Austin was something to see. And he's literally locked the ball across half forward. Ball is thrown up by John Norton, the field umpire. Trickles back to the man of the moment, Jacob Austin. On hands and knees. Got it out. Dylan Johnston there too. He got the hand pass. Lachlan Evans applied a good tackle. And the ball's locked, literally, on the paint of 50 for Sandhurst.
Terrific tackle by Austin just before. Wilkinson picked up the footy, tried to find his way through, just got a handball out towards Coughlin, who put his head over it. Banaki got in top of it. Coughlin picks up the footy, Umpire Kobe Hilson crosses his arms and says, I'll have it. I'll ball it up inside the forward 50. 13-point lead to Gisborne, 21 minutes into the quarter. Don't reckon Sandhurst have been scoreless in any quarters for quite a long time, Mick. But it might be on the cards in this opening quarter if they can't get the ball towards goal.
Only 2 goals scored, 21 minutes in. All scoring the way of Gisborne so far.
Very low scoring, very physical, contested game. Waiting for it to break out a little bit. Dylan Johnson picks up the footy, handballs it out. Austin picked it up for Sandhurst, missed his target, now the Dogs are away. They'll go short. Kick miss its intended target, picked up by Merritt, who's tackled straight away. Austin's laying a lot of tackles at the moment. He's involved in everything in this opening quarter.
Sort of has to be that way when they don't have the ball themselves, hey Cam?
It won't be a long quarter, I suspect. Maybe another 5 or so minutes to go. Just 2 goals kicked so far in the opening 22 minutes. As Gisborne advanced forward, this time through Chapano to half forward. He wanted Sullivan. It was fisted away by Ireland. Sullivan, he got it out, but then Wilson Butler tapped it forward towards Urata for Sandhurst, who helped take it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw-in. Pull side here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Come week 2 of the finals, this will be the place where destinies are made or broken as we advance towards Saturday, the 20th of September, grand final day in the Bendigo Football League. And from the boundary throw-in, it's worked further forward for Sandhurst, or for Gisborne, I should say, out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw-in.
Well, that goes out of bounds. Kobe Zarafa, who's not playing today, he's played 11 games this year, won the under-16s BNF down in the Riddles District League, so congratulations to Kobe.
Did see that during the week, doubling up a lot, often playing 2 or 3 games of footy a weekend. Terrific effort from him. He's going to have a big experience in footy. James Gray sends it out wide. McKenna picks it up, tries to handball off. He does well. He can steady and open up the goals. He was bumped as he kicked it though, Thomas Werner, which just put the kick-off line for a minor score. So they move to 2-2-14. Sandhurst no score as we approach quarter time in this one here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, round 17 of the Bendigo Footy League, the penultimate round, of course, as Sandhurst are forced to go and fetch their own footy. It's still Kangaroo Flat leading South Bendigo by 1 point as we approach quarter time at Dower Park as well. And Golden Square have got an early lead on the Storm by 4 points. So a couple of games to keep an eye on in Bendigo footy is Steve Navort's at ground level. What are we waiting on for down here?
Waiting for the ball first of all, but Brian Cazziano's just come back off, been sent off with blood ruling in his nose, is bleeding again.
Free to bring it back in for Sandhurst to half back. Wilson Butler receives. The Dragons have been good this year. They've won 6 of their 7 games on home soil at the QEO. Cooper Smith does well, gets it to Keating, penetrating kick, had too much height on it for Matthew Wilkinson. Dylan Johnston leads the chase in defence for Gisborne, but he's just toe poking and fumbling to his own advantage. He did well in the end. He recovered from his own mess, gave it to Lucas Hannon, who spears the kick to centre wing on the swimming pool side for Gisborne. Effective foot pass to Campbell Johns. He goes with a short one to Sullivan, just the 15. Plays on, shows some candy, waltzes to half forward, kick not so good. Ireland gets in the way. He was searching for Bradley Benaki, who's been relatively quiet by his standards in this opening term.
He's been tagged by Nick Stagg today.
It's a good matchup to have. Nick Stagg, one of the premier kind of tag, as you could say, in this competition. Gisborne handballed out wide. Johnson picked it up. Benaki just knocked it forward. Then he able to run onto his own ball. He slipped over, but he still managed to get a handball out to Clough, who found a way through. Back to Benaki. He was laying on his backside, received a handball. He'll say, add that one to my stats. Didn't even have to be standing to get a handball then. Just ended up in his lap. He's almost a ball magnet of the Bendigo Footy League, Brad Benaki. It's a shame not to see him running around next year in Bendigo footy. Clough takes the footy out of the contest. Handball out wide. Couldn't quite take the footy. Dylan Johnson was bumped off it, but he did well on the second attempt. Gave it to Werner. Wilkinson, the opposing 18, stole it for Sandhurst. Looks up. Had a little bit more time than he thought. Short pass was okay. Smetzer gave it off to Coughlin. Coughlin then down the line to a one-on-one contest here. It's Vescovi and Maxted. Vescovi got out the back a little bit too easily there. Fed the handball off to a teammate. Now the Dogs can just move it forward. They'll slam the kick through Will Elliott, but it's poor, and Sandhurst will turn it over across half back.
They do indeed. Across half back, Darcy Mills kicking to the centre is good. Right in the centre circle for the Sandhurst Dragons to Connick in front of our broadcast position. Chips it over the top. James Coughlin has it. The Bridgewater farmer. He kicks from beyond the paint of 50. Goes to the pocket. Wants Kobe Maxted. Knocked to ground level. Gisborne in defence. Stand up tall. They do well. They clear. Riley Evans has it across half-back. Kick is a wobbly one. Maybe intercepted. Cooper Smith gets it back. Goes to Keating. To Austin. Left foot kick. Deep. Gisborne have numbers back. They were hoping for Wilkinson there, but instead the Gisborne defence stood up tall through Frank Shapano.
Shapano chips it short to a teammate underneath the scoreboard. And funnily, you should mention Bridgewater Farmers. I see Andy Collins is back playing for Bridgewater in the seniors, so that's a handy inclusion for them to have coming into a final series as well. Played a few reserves games, but he's back in the senior lineup. Back here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, the Dogs have worked it down the line. Luxmore to McKenna. McKenna's been dangerous on the right. Short pass into the pocket. Mark taken by Dylan Johnson. Be a tough kick from here. You can have a shower in the lead up to this one. That's how close he is to those poolside change rooms. Tough kick. 14-point lead for Gisborne, but if they can get themselves 20 points up at quarter time, that'll be a massive statement for them.
Yeah, Dylan Johnson's kicked 10 goals from his 8 games this year. 3 VFL games with the Bulldogs as well, and an interleague rep. One of the better players of the comp.
Derek Philo medalist in that interleague game as well, Dylan Johnson.
He was.
Yeah, he was magnificent that day. In he comes. Tough kick from here, and it's an absolute shocker. He almost missed his foot. Can you describe that, Mick? Because I can't.
Yeah, for the people at home, he's kicked that from 50 out, and there'll be a boundary throw-in 30 metres out from goal, and it's probably dribbled about 15 of that 20 metres.
Did he really miss his foot? Like, did it touch the Sandhurst?
I had a kick or two like that in my junior footy career as Benaki gets it out. Austin whacks it out of the danger zone. Gisborne, repel, Lucas Hannon. They drive it deep inside 50. Long flying shot at goal. It's across the face and just a behind. So 2-3-15 Gisborne. Sandhurst yet to score. They may be scoreless come the quarter time siren.
When was the last time Sandhurst didn't score in a quarter, Mick? Have you got that handy?
I'll get back to you.
An interesting one to know. I'm sure it's been quite a while. You have to reach for the history books. The Dragons bring the ball in. They want to come down the grandstand side wing, and well, there you go. Where were you at 2:52 on Saturday the 15th of August 2026 when Sandhurst did not score in a quarter? It's a good question. I thought it was anyway. 2-3-15 Gisborne, no score Sandhurst. The score sponsor, Don Smallgoods, is score sponsors the quarter here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Round 17 of the Bendigo Footy League. Gisborne leading by 15 points over Sandhurst. Other games in Bendigo Footy. It is Castlemaine 6-4-40 to Broadford 1-1-7. Golden Square 4-1-25 leading Strathfield Say 2-2-14 and South Bendigo 4-2-26 to the Kangaroo Flat. Kangaroos 2-3-15. Heathcote League Finals quarter time. North Bendigo 2-3-15 leading Colburn Abbott 2-2-14 as well. The second quarter to come from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. It's Gisborne by 15 points. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live.
You know what's better than a Big Four bank?
A bank that's bigger for me.
Bigger for making my money work harder.
And helping my business make it.
Bigger for helping us to buy a home.
Bigger for the community I care about.
My bank is bigger for what matters most.
As one of Australia's most trusted banks, millions of Aussies know that Bendigo Bank is bigger for them.
And we're bigger for you.
Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name is Daniel Bowman. I'm a cladding supplier. The company name is Architectural Cladding Suppliers. We manufacture, produce basically any cladding sort of available that can be rolled out of a soft feed ColourBond material. We target roofers, cladders, builders, really anyone that wants to sort of get involved with this type of cladding. We try to be a bit of a one-stop type roofing shop. We have all of them and some that the others don't have. We educate people how it's done and we sort of get it out there and make it happen.
G'day everyone, I'm the Suburban Footballer and I'm here to tell you to download the Local Footy Hub app. Inside this one-stop app, you will find live scores, fixtures, ladders, leading goal kickers and best players, game replays and highlights, latest news, player and coach interviews, shows, podcasts, and full team and player statistics. Actually, can I stop you just there for a sec? It says for all your team and individual stats. Like, just for argument's sake, if someone at my work got on the app, could they see how many possessions I'd had the week before? Oh, they can. I reckon, like, do you really need that? Footy's a team sport. Who cares about individual statistics? I reckon the rest of the app is great, can't fault it. But just get rid of that individual statistics bit. I mean, who cares? Download the Local Footy Hub app. Everything you need, all in one app, including individual stats.
Are you looking to promote your business? This could be a great way to reach the local footy community. How do we get your name out there? We can provide banner and native advertising in our news feeds and socials, reaching thousands of people every week. We can run video ads before every game replay that gets watched by thousands of people each week. We can run promotional videos like this one about your business during quarter time breaks for all of our live stream games. Contact us now to find out how you can book a trial.
Enjoy the same fantastic staff and
delicious Don Footy Franks. They're made for the footy. Is Don, is good.
It's the place we want to be. More local football. And it's time to go back to the home ground on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Go local, go local footy, more local, let's go.
Quarter time here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Gisborne 2-3-15, leading Sandhurst, no score. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live. Myself, Cam Power, Father Jackson Saunders, heading up the broadcast. Mick Delaney in special comments. Norm Jenkin, Ray Pinner, and John Hunter in the background, pushing all the buttons. Steve Navort's down at ground level as well for us here. Other games in Bendigo footy, Castlemaine lead Broadford by 33 points. Golden Square have got a good start against the Storm, 5-1-31. To Strathfield say 2-2-14, and it is South Bendigo 4-2-26 to Kangaroo Flat 2-3-15. Mick Delaney is here looking at the better players for Sandhurst today. Looking at Gisborne's better players is Father Jackson Saunders.
So for Sandhurst, I think Nick Stagg deserves a special mention at quarter time. He has been running with Brad Benaki, who last weekend had 61 touches for Gisborne, and Benaki, I would say, has been relatively quiet to the first change by his standards, so I give a special vote to Nick Stagg in the first term. Also, Matthew Wilkinson has had a lot of the football in the middle. Darcy Mills and Jack Keating have had lots of it, and Cooper Smith has been impressive early.
Going to go to ground level because Steve Navort's got Jared Lynch from the Gisborne Bulldogs with him.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Stoppage. Our defenders, they just need to lock on at every single time that's an opportunity. So, and I think we just need to exit our forward line a little bit better. We're sort of bombing long. We just need to get it to space a bit more and let our runners work.
Thank you for your time.
Steve Navort down at ground level. What was the messages that you heard down from the rooms there, Steve, or from the huddle, Steve?
Mainly just to leave Maxted alone if he's going to sit deep as they were. They also think as well they've probably got to be a little bit more selfless in their leads in the forward line.
So that's an interesting one. You got an answer to that question from when Sandhurst were last goalless in a quarter, Mick?
No. Last time these two teams played, Sandhurst didn't kick a goal in the first quarter, and they still won the game. So Yeah, nothing really to worry about just yet for Sandhurst.
Local footy, the place we want to be. It's fresh, live. Gisborne by 15. Here's Cameron Power.
What can Sandhurst do? Steve said it was a 2 or 3 goal breeze heading towards the Barnard Street end, so it'll give us an indication this quarter as Benaki emerges with a footy. He was tackled straight away. Ball up, centre wing position, pull side. Gisborne by 15 points here. Sandhurst, no score in that opening quarter, as we just mentioned. Ball up, hits the pack. Smith emerges with the footy, goes in board. Keating shepherded it well nicely to allow Smith to come back through and pick up the handball. Sends it inside forward 50. No mark to Coughlin, and he's given away a free kick in the process. He just handled Shapano a little bit too much. So free kick Shapano in defence for the Dogs.
He's got it across half back in the old South Bendigo social rooms pocket to Vescovi. Mr. Faithful at Gisborne goes to half back. Intercepted though by Connor Sexton, the Premiership ruckman from a couple of years ago. Played no footy last year. To Island, then to Stagg. Drives it deep. Coughlin, one out. Got hands to it. Maxted front and centre. Hand pass to Oliver Morris. He's daylight. And Sandhurst have gold. Great goal by Ollie Morris. Sandhurst 1 straight 6. Gisborne 2-3-15. We've played about a minute in this second quarter. Our score sponsor is Don's Small Goods. Is Don, is good. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's fresh live, and this is Mick Delaney.
How often do you see that, a team dominates a whole quarter of footy, and then the first opportunity that Sandhurst get here, a nice little coming goal there by Morrison. They're only 9 points down for all of Gisborne's dominance so far.
Well, Steve did say it's a 2 or 3 goal breeze, so Sandhurst can kick 4 or 5 goals in this quarter. That'll give us a real indication of how that breeze is going. Johnson got it out of the middle, just gave the handball left to Benaki. Benaki gave it to Gray, who was tackled straight away, tries to fend off one. The Sandhurst supporters appealing for ball, not coming. Gray might have found himself a little bit lucky not to get penalised there, Mick.
Yeah, very lucky there. I thought he got pinned.
In the centre will go. Nolder got the hands down to it. Gray again tackled by Smith, and they're testing out the shoulder of James Gray as well, with some of the tackling that's being laid on him. Of course, earlier in the year there was this thought that he mightn't even come back to play again this year. He's back out there a couple of weeks now with the shoulder. Delayed surgery that they said he would need till the end of the season so he could get himself right for the finals. Big call.
Courageous call.
Massive call, but if there's a flag in it, why not?
Back in the middle we go. One down Sexton. Nolder got the footy, handballed it back into the pack, and it's just bouncing around the bottom of the pack. Good pick up here from Johnson, who was tackled straight away. Umpire says it went over his shoulder, so Johnson's got the footy.
Yeah, that was a bit reckless by Robinson. He was already on the ground, no need to do that.
So it's a Gisborne ball.
The Footscray VFL listed player has it. Johnston off the left boot. Kicks to half forward over the head of the intended target, Luxmore. Great work by Wilson Butler. He intercepts across half back, gives it to Oliver Morris. He discos and turns like on a Saturday night dance floor there. The kick was good to Smetzer, a physiotherapist by trade. Kicks inside 50, going back courageously. Kobe Maxted. He took a wonderful overhead grab, and Bryce Curnow compliments one of his players on the outer wing. Ollie Morris there, he gave him a big rap and vote of encouragement from the boundary line, which must boost a player's confidence, Mick Delaney.
Yeah, definitely. Ripper grab, though, from Maxted, 3 deep in that contest, able to stop the Gisborne player from getting a hand on it, and here he is having a shot 45 out, 45-degree angle.
For his 27th goal of the year. Sun is shining at this present moment. The kick from Maxted, goal umpire did not move from beginning to end, and the Sandhurst bench slammed the roof. Bryce Curnow leads that orchestra in celebration, and Sandhurst have their second. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's fresh live. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. The score is Gisborne 2-3-15 to Sandhurst 2 straight 12.
Yeah, Sandhurst have all but wiped out Gisborne's early ascendancy here. 3 points to margin early on, and yeah, a little spark from Charlie Robinson and Ollie Morris getting the boys going early.
Quarter time score in the North Central League. Donald 1-3 to Bort, 6 goals 3. Steve Navort at ground level. Dayton Ureta looking a little bit sore down there.
There was a collision in the first quarter where he came off and he was just holding his hip for a little bit, and he's come off holding that right hip again, so I'll keep an eye on it for you.
Stagg out of the middle, handball forward. Smetzer took it, gave it off to Smith. Smith runs into the open goal and misses. That would have been something straight out of the centre, but he could not finish Cooper Smith. And the Dragons get their first blemish, but they're on top in the first 5 minutes, and it's back to a 2-point game. 2-1-13 playing 2-3-15.
Zach Vescovi, one of 5 premiership players from 2022 for Gisborne, out on the park today here at the QEO. Long kick, wants Hannon across half back. Knocked away from him. Ball comes towards Luxmore. Defensive side of centre wing. Look away, hand pass. Well, it went in the right direction to Clough. He was dispossessed. Great tackle from Brand Catazano. Centre wing grandstand side, and we'll have a ball up.
Quarter time scores in the Maryborough Castlemaine League. Campbell's Creek 1-4-10, Avoca 2-1-13, and there's Trentham 4-7-31 to the Maryborough Giants, 2 behinds.
Nolden upped it to the advantage of Hannon. His kick was intercepted, however, by Harrison Free. He kicks to half forward, finds Oliver Morris, who scoops it up across left half forward, kicks inside 50. Terrific intercepting grab across half back though from Frank Chapano. He's been terrific so far. To Benaki, that kick not so flash. It was audacious. It's at centre half forward. Austin intercepts. He runs goalward but misses to the left hand side and just to behind. So lucky there, Gisborne, especially Brad Benaki, that it didn't come straight over his head for a goal. Rather just a point. 2-2-14 Sandhurst. Gisborne 2-3-15.
So they'll bring the ball back into play. Short pass is dangerous, but it's a mark here. Held his ground nicely for the Dogs. They'll handball it off. Short pass missed its target, Gray, and it ended up straight to Ollie Morris. Morris plays on quickly, sends it inside forward 50, and Maxted is standing in a paddock of space, 45 out directly in front. My man Maxted will not miss.
Big call, Cam, but we'll go one further. Gisborne look rattled at the moment. Sandhurst have really stepped up their pressure in and around the ball, and Gisborne a little bit clumsy by foot to start this quarter.
I reckon the first goal that Gisborne got came off their Sandhurst error out of defence, and now they're looking to reverse it back the other way. That win might be causing a lot more grief than what we were expecting. We'll cross to Steve shortly to find out about that as Maxted comes in. And what did I tell you, Mick Delaney? My boy Maxted's a star. He's got their Dragons' 3rd goal. They move to 3-2-20. His 2nd in the quarter. Gisborne haven't scored this quarter. They're 2-3-15. The score sponsor is Don Smallgoods. Don is good.
Doesn't happen very often that the Barnard end of the ground is the scoring end, Cam. That's usually down to the city end.
I'd usually say that as well. Steve, you're down at ground level. Has the wind conditions changed a bit?
The wind conditions have certainly changed. The wind has seemingly died off at the start of this quarter, so I don't think that's affecting the Sandhurst or Gisborne performance at the moment.
It's a good observation, Mick. 5 goals kicked in this game, all to the Barnard Street end. As from the centre, Nick Stagg gets the hard ball, hand pass to Cooper Smith, then to Wilkinson, who follows up the old 1-2, flying shot at goal is through. And the Sandhurst players, coaches and supporters are up and about in this second quarter of footy. 3 unanswered goals now. In fact, make that 4. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builders. Sandhurst 4-2-26. Gisborne 2-3-15. 8 gone. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live.
Funny old game, isn't it? 28 minutes that first quarter went for. Sandhurst didn't score. We're 8 minutes into the second quarter. 4 goals, 2 already, and 4 goals in a row.
What a finish by Matt Wilkinson as well, as we're back in the middle here. Smetzer knocks it down. Coughlin went after the footy, spills out wide. No one able to take the clean possession here. What do Gisborne need to do to stop this little bit of run that Sandhurst have got, Mick?
They need to do what Sandhurst did well in that first quarter and just possess the ball and get numbers behind the ball.
Austin took it out of the middle. Kick didn't quite make contact with the boot as he was being tackled. Handball from Johnson to Benaki. Benaki further forward. Now the Dogs will get their first look inside forward 50 in the second quarter, and Pat McKenna's out on a hard lead. He marks it right on the paint of 50. And he puts the footy behind underneath his arms and says, I'm going to go back and have the shot and kick a big goal. There's a player that can do that. It is Pat McKenna.
He's marked that about 48 metres out against any win that there is. And as soon as he marked it, he put the arm up, didn't he? And just went, look, lads, let's settle down. Let's take some bite out of this game and let's see if I can kick it.
2 goals in the first quarter for Pat McKenna, looking for his 3rd on the day. The first goal to the city end of the ground here at the QE. He comes in, he launches it from 50. It's going to fall short. Knocked down, no one able to take the mark. It spills to the pack. Gee, that fell a good 10 metres short of goal too. I reckon that breeze is causing a lot of havoc out there for anyone going towards the city end of the ground, as Wilkinson's a little bit slow to get up there, but he seems to be all right. We're inside the forward 50 here for Gisborne. They need something in this second quarter. Off hands. No one able to get clean possession. I think it's Ireland, I reckon, at the bottom of the pack that was tackled straight away. So we'll get another ball up.
Sandhurst crunching numbers at the ball. Gisborne have 3 spare behind.
Smetzer down. Wilkinson happy to concede a behind, so he just knocks it through. 26 plays 16, 10 minutes into the second quarter.
Seems a bit of a game plan at the moment that Sandhurst, whenever Gisborne get the ball inside forward 50, they're just crunching numbers in around the ball.
This is interleague captain Fergus Green, brings the ball back into play, kicks to half back and spots up that man Jackson Howard, who goes to Liam Ireland with the switch to the broadcast side. Smetzer in the pink boots, not my style, but full credit to him. Smetzer with the kick around the body, intercepted though by Brad Benaki, and looks like Sullivan hit the deck hard there. Please keep an eye on him, Stephen Avord, on the boundary as the kick from Benaki goes to half forward, does well, now finds Hannon. They're taking an inside 50 here, the Bulldogs. Across half forward, McKenna, perhaps a hold, yes, and he's given the free kick 40 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle. Stephen Avord down on the boundary. What can you see with Dominic Sullivan?
Not sure exactly. He's trying to push the physios and all that away, but it might be a rib or something around that sort of area of the body.
Thanks for that. Could even just be winded. So he's, exactly as you've described, pushed the physios away and running back towards the centre circle. Zach Vescovi gives him a high five, so he's clearly okay. Dominic Sullivan probably just winded as Pat McKenna, meantime, shoots a goal and gets the first of the day to the city end. 3-4-22 at Gisborne. They trail Sandhurst 4-2-26. That's a confidence booster. McKenna's third. Local footy, the place we want to be. And our score sponsor is Bendigo Bearings.
Gisborne need to find different ways to goal right now. McKenna's been the focal target inside forward 50, which is all well and good, but Gisborne 3 goals, McKenna 3 goals. In order for them to win this game, they need their lesser lights to start stepping up and kicking goals.
So Gisborne's last goal came in the 11-minute mark of the first quarter through Pat McKenna, and their next goal comes at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter through Pat McKenna. What do they call that, deja vu, Mick?
Yes.
Go back in the middle here. Sandhurst look to respond straight away. Smetzer emerges with it, sends a high ball inside forward 50. Chasing after it here, couldn't quite take possession was Robinson, but he did well, gave it off. Wilkinson's kick was partially smothered, which invited Sullivan, who's recovered. So Sullivan will go down the line, kick carrying, didn't quite find its intended target. Intercept mark there was taken by Harrison. Free, looks up, goes central, dangerous kick. McKenna's waltzed out of defence and took it on its chest. It just sat up in the breeze. McKenna couldn't believe his luck. He barrels one from 90, does Pat McKenna. Sends it to a one-on-one race in the goal square. There's 3 Dragons against the 1 dog. The 1 dog does well in Matt Merritt, but the numbers are just too much to deal with. Keating's kick out of defence. Well, he missed a target that on that occasion, but we'll move past that one. It goes out wide for the Dogs. James Gray's in there, couldn't quite take it. Lockie Wright's underneath the scoreboard. He's caught high, and he'll receive a free kick.
I'm glad you called yourself out on that one, Cam.
Out to Ireland in the goal square for the Dragons. Ireland sends it out to Morris. They'll horseshoe it out. Morris decides not to horseshoe it. He's going to go central inside, and he finds Harrison free.
He does indeed, and as we can hear the beautiful omens of the chicken steaks cooking on the barbecue, we thank the Sandhurst Football Netball Club for their hospitality this afternoon as Keating drives it out of half back, and those chicken steaks, well, they were demolished by the rest of the Coventry team.
That is the worst chicken impersonation I've heard, Cameron.
Yes, we'll keep the sound effects to the professionals, I think, Cam. Boundary thrown on the outer side, but nevertheless, we're grateful to Mark O'Farrell, the president, and all at the Den Land here this afternoon for having us. From the boundary throwing, Carnell in the ruck contest. Schmetzer there too, got boot to ball. Gets it forward a few metres. James Coughlin wants it. Great work by Dayton Rater. Hand pass over the top. Jackson Howard kicks inside 50. A high ball. Wants Fergus Green. Gets it. He's agile. He ducks and weaves. He kicks to the opposite pocket. Has space. Wants that man there across half forward in Rater, who receives now, and whistle blown. Free kick is picked out. In fact, it's going to go to Charlie Robinson, who was the initial target, and he was held illegally. So Robinson at half forward to the pocket. It was an ill-directed kick, not very good in the end, and the interception was taken for Gisborne by Lucas Carnell.
Handball's off. They go out underneath the poolside change rooms here. An intercept mark for the Dragons. Connick to Wilkinson. Wilkinson's been good. He looks central. Mark will be taken here by Big Sexton, who's 55 out from goal, but with the breeze at his back, it's definitely not out of the equation. He's going to load up, pumps it to the goal square, just short of the intended target, knocked through for a minor score by Gisborne, so they'll get the footy back 27, playing 22, a 5-point lead to the Dragons.
Kicking duties for Gisborne. Chapano goes to half-back, finds Will Elliott on the grandstand side. Here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, traditionally known as the upper reserve until Queen broadcast position. It's Sandhurst 4-3-27 to Gisborne 3-4-22. 16 minutes gone in this third term. Local footy of the place we want to be. It's fresh live. It's the penultimate round in Bendigo football, and here's Cameron Power.
5-point lead to the Dragons here as they go out wide. Wilkinson's got some space here, has a bounce, can have a second. Drew a man to him cleverly, then fed the handball off there, which was well done. Back to Wilkinson. He's going to run. He pulls a kick into side forward 50. Matt Wilkinson take a bow, and the mark is taken by Jacob Austin, 45 out directly in front of goal. Matt Wilkinson, that was clever.
He passed it off to Caleb Connick in a better position too.
That he did. The involvement then that passage of play with Finlay Lockhart from Matt Wilkinson though was superb. To get it back and to continually run through. But then the kick was Nick Dacos-esque with those little off the side of the boot kicks. So chance here for the Dragons. It'll go goalwards through Connick. It's going to go across the face. In fact, it's actually floated out of bounds on the full. 27 plays 22. And Mick, Golden Square, 7-2-44, leading Strathfield, say 2-2-14. So a 5-goal lead, well, 6-goal lead even to the Storm. That's a Golden Square. That has huge repercussions on the 5 if Golden Square can keep that up.
Definitely.
Vescovi, Benaki, and then Chapano all the way to half-back, where Canal has the footy for Gisborne. Out of side, here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, goes down the line to centre wing. Pack develops. Boyd Norda wanted it. Ball eluded him. Matthew Wilkinson got it back for Sandhurst. Did well. Chips it to half forward. Finds Lachlan right inside for Nick Stagg. Kick had to be precise, wasn't. Stagg follows up, just gets boot to ball. His kick was hurried. Lachlan Evans almost intercepted. Austin got it back. Sandhurst still taking inside 50. It's deep. It's goalward. It's only a behind though. To the right-hand side, the Dragons advance to 4-4-28. Gisborne a 3-4-22. 18 minutes gone, second quarter.
Quick kick in for the Dogs. Gray's got it, sends it out wide. Hard up against the boundary line here for Gisborne. So in the hands of Vescovi. Just going to have to look down the line. South Bendigo 35 lead Kangaroo Flat 16 in the other game in Bendigo footy as his kick goes wide. They're going to go out and exit themselves from underneath the poolside change rooms. They accelerate and run their distance to the Dogs. Kick down the line, marked by Merritt. Merritt centre wing position, poolside. Looks up, has to wait for the cavalry to come back and get to the other end of the footy. His kick towards Clough. It bounced up nicely. Clough fended off the tackle, sends it inside forward 50. McKenna looked up and he saw that he had space, and Lockie Wright was nowhere to be seen on that occasion. That'll disappoint the coaching staff for Sandhurst that McKenna found himself in that much space inside forward 50, Mick.
Well, that's what happens when you get that fast ball movement going on. Nothing really that Lockie Wright could do. And look, Pat McKenna, yes, he's taken a mark inside forward 50, but 35 out, worse than a 45-degree angle. If you've got to take it, the further you can push into the boundary, the better.
So he's almost underneath the scoreboard when he releases the footy. This to tie things up, 19 minutes into the second quarter. McKenna comes in, kicks his fourth. So it's all Pat McKenna in the forward line for the Dogs, and we've got a tied ball game, 4-4-28 apiece. That is 12 minutes into the second quarter. The score sponsor is Bendigo City Framers, local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live. That's 20 minutes, I should say, not 12 into this quarter.
Pat McKenna so far this year, 4 times he's kicked 10 goals or more. Definitely knows how to find the big sticks, but we can see today, just with his ability to get out on that lead, those first, or his speed over his first 5 or 10 steps helps create that separation, and some good ball delivery to him as well on the forward line.
Scores a level. He leads the Ron Best goal kicking table. James Shiska from Strathfield Say had 60 headed into today's penultimate round, and Brock Harvey from South Bendigo 53 for the season. Those are the top 3 goal kickers in Bendigo football. Meantime, they're a fair distance behind Lockie Sharp of Bridgewater in the Loddon Valley League, 138 for the year, heading into the afternoon of footy today. And while there's another ball up forthcoming, it's worth mentioning that there's another centenarian in the Loddon Valley Footy League, Jai Badley Callie, with 108 goals for Pyramid Hills. So there's some goal-kicking bags across our region this year. Free kick has been picked out in the middle, and it goes the way of Gisborne. It's taken out of the centre by Borden Orler, who goes to half forward. Chance for Gray. He gets the loose ball. Kicks back to McKenna. He's kicked 2 goals in each term. Feeds the hand pass to Johnson. He'll have a shot at goal. It's a bit of a wobbly floater. Does it go through? It does! Maybe not. Still in play. Well, there was a bit of a casualty between Richard Murphy, the goal umpire, and one of the defenders. Looked like it was through. Sandhurst kept it alive, and now it's been worked out to Cooper Smith across half back.
The goal umpire went to ground in the contest there, and it's like he got up when all the ball's still in play.
I fear that's a bad miss, but we'll have a look at that later.
From the distance here, it certainly looked like it might have crossed the line, and the Gisborne players thought it did. So
yeah, it looked like it bounced over the top of the dead grass patch down there, which is about a metre behind the goals.
Yeah, and when Murphy fell over, it just kind of bounced back into play, at the odd shape of the footy. But keep an eye on it. They didn't contest it too much, though, the Dogs, as we're at centre half back for Gisborne. It's with the hands of Cooper Smith. So Smith can chip into the middle. Mark will be taken here by Connick. Connick's got it. Just slows things down. Sends it out wide to Harry Free. Free hits his pass this time. They can accelerate away with the footy here, Sandhurst. It'll be a high kick here, inside forward 50 coming from right. Spills out to Sexton. Sexton handballed off to Cooper Smith. Smith over the top to Maxted. Maxted over the top. There's 2 Sandhurst players in the square, but they got an awful bounce, and Vescovi was able to swoop on it. He kicks out of defence, looking in the direction here of Campbell Johns. He couldn't quite take it cleanly. Sandhurst keep this ball alive, and we'll get a ball up. No, in fact, they've managed to spit it out. The umpire crosses his arms, lets them play it out. Morris, short pass. Target just missed, so the Dogs can emerge with the footy. Out wide here is Campbell Johns again. Now the Dogs work it out. They can emerge with the footy. Luxmore's going to be met straight away by Howard in the tackle, and that'll force the ball up centre wing, grandstand side.
It will indeed. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on this Saturday afternoon. Scores are level, 4-4 apiece. 23 minutes gone, second term. Nick Stagg's tackle is terrific there in the middle. Kick was smothered by Henry Edwards. Great effort by the Dragons as Harrison Free gets the sharking ball at the back of the pack. He drives it to centre half forward. Wants Maxted, who out-muscled his direct opponent and took a wonderful chest grab. 45 metres out from goal. Just too good for Zach Vescovi there, and he'll line up from the slightest of angles.
Going for his third is Maxted. 2 so far this quarter, and in the words of Cam Power, will he make it, Cam? Will he kick it?
Yes.
He kicked 2 goals last week against the Strathfield Say Storm. Always been a talented footballer. Came up through the Bendigo Pioneers ranks in the elite under-18s competition. Kobe Maxted's kick is elite. And you can hear the applause. 5-4-34 are the Sandhurst Dragons. Gisborne 4-4-28. Our score sponsor is Don Smallgoods. Is Don. Is good. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live.
It's battle of the key forwards. Dave McKenna kicking 4. One end for Gisborne. For Sandhurst, Maxted in this quarter alone has kicked 3. 1 goal of difference, 5 minutes before half time. It's a big 5 minutes for both these sides.
Terrific player is Kobe Maxted. Dragons by 1 goal, as Mick just mentioned. We're back in the middle here, taken out of the middle by Smetzer. Slams it inside forward 50. No mark taken. Coughlin got to the front of the pack. Couldn't quite win it. Ball hits the bottom of the pack again. We'll have another ball up, 55 out from goal. Sandhurst in attack. Scoreless in the first quarter. They've kicked 5-4 in this quarter. Gisborne have kicked 2 goals, 1 this quarter. Stagg picked up the footy. Got through the contest, sent a dribbling ball inside towards Ollie Morris. Morris kept his feet, did well to give the handball off towards a dribbling Caleb Connick. Maxted in the goal square, might have been held without it. Umpire said no. Gisborne emerged with the footy, good tackling. Crowd appealing for holding the ball, not coming. We'll get a ball up inside, forward 50.
10 metres out from the Dragons' goal, John Norton throws the ball aloft, and he's picked out a free kick for a hold, and it's going to Sandhurst. Kobe Maxted and Mick Delaney. You've been saying that it's a forwards day. Well, he is looking for his 4th goal in this term.
Unreal. 13 games, 26 goals. He's kicked 12 in his last 4. We might nearly notch this down as number 16 in his last 4 games. 4th of the quarter he's going for.
Maxted on fire. Can he deliver? He's put it through for the Dragons. 6-4-40. Gisborne 4-4-28. Took a moment for the goal umpire to confirm. Score sponsor is Bendigo City Framers. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live.
It's a big 5 minutes here, like we were saying only 90 seconds ago, in regards to the season as a whole for both these sides. Sandhurst, they need one more win to solidify that top spot and a week off come week 1 of finals. But for Gisborne, if they want that second chance, a win is vital.
Kobe Maxted might be in with a chance of our City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award. BFNL, Natty Bialaba 128 to Newstead 7-5-47. So a nice lead to the Roos out there in the Maryborough Castlemaine Footy League. As we send it forward, Sandhurst will go inside forward 50 again. Knocked away for the Dogs. They'll look to clear it out. Nolder will take the mark centre wing. Feeds off the handball to Benaki. Benaki further running forward. Bouncing footy for the Dogs. They can emerge with the footy. Back to Benaki. Over the top to Luxmore. Luxmore's got some space. Handball's backwards here. Uses Hannon. Hannon's kick was smothered. It goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Good contest here. Good pressure from the Dragons, Mick.
Yeah, South Bendigo, Kangaroo Flat. Brock Harvey's got 5 halfway through the second quarter.
More interested about what's going on in that Golden Square Sheffield Say game at the moment. We'll get an updated score in that in a moment. Half-time, North Bendigo 5-4-34 leading Colburn Abbon 4-5-29 in the Heathgate Footy League finals.
It's it right at half forward for Gisborne. They're going to the city end. About 20 players around the contest as they dive and weave players in various directions. And now the field umpire, Kobe Hilson, says that's a free kick. Penalty for holding the ball against Dominic Sullivan of Gisborne to Nick Stagg of Sandhurst. His kick, well, it was intended for Jackson Howard. He took the grab but dropped it at the last moment. Turnover results. Ball spills out across the half-forward line. Gisborne with a flying shot at goal from 40. It's been put through. A spectacular finish there for Gisborne. And the goal has been kicked. That is their 3rd goal of this quarter. A very important goal. Matthew Merritt, I believe, is the player.
It is.
6-4-40 Sandhurst. Gisborne 5-4-34. 28 minutes gone in this second term. Score sponsor is Bendigo Bearings on local footy, the place we want to be.
Gisborne needed that one going into half-time. Merritt is the first goal kicker outside of McKenna for the day, and we've played almost 60 minutes of footy.
Golden Square leading Strathfield Say by 37 points, 9-3-57 to the Storm, 3 goals, 2-20 in that one as well. So that, again, has huge implications on this year's final series here at the QEO and over at Wade Street. These 2 games, free kick to Ryan Burke. So Burke handballs off for the Dogs. They'll send it out wide to Benaki. Emerges with the footy, just Brad Benaki. He'll send it up towards the top of the 50. No mark taken. Merritt was good at ground level though. Picked it up, went one way, then the other. Tried to get around Stagg. Forced the handball to Clough. He's forced towards the boundary line. Handball to Nolder. Nolder goes backwards to where it come to Merritt. Good tackling from the Dragons. Forces a turnover. Ollie Morris went back into the pressure. Handballed the ball to the ground and we'll get a ball up. They all dive on top of this one. And the siren sounds to end a very entertaining first half of footy here from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. And it is Sandhurst 6-4-40 leading Gisborne 5-4-34. The Dragons, remember, were scoreless in that first quarter, so they put on 6 goals, 4 in that quarter. while Gisborne managed to kick 3 goals, won that quarter. But a very, very good game of footy, Mick Delaney. Sandhurst to be content to be in front after not scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Curnow will be stoked with the way his boys rallied at the start of that second quarter especially. It was all ball movement. Early on we saw that Sandhurst weren't really on with their ball movement, with their disposal efficiency, but yeah, it's a wonder what a couple of goals does. And having Maxted up forward, he is really dominant in that forward line today, kicking 4 in that quarter.
South Bendigo 7-6-48 lead Kangaroo Flat 2-4-16. It is Castlemaine 14-10-94 to Broadford 2-1-13. But the other game, Golden Square 9-3-57 leading the Strathfield Say Storm 3-3-21. So a massive second half to come out at Wade Street, but an even bigger second half to come here from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. The Dragons leading by 1 goal. Heathcote Footy League finals as well. North Bendigo leading Colburn Abbon 5-4-34 to Colburn Abbon 4-5-29. The winner of that game will take on Mount Pleasant next weekend. The loser pushes on into a do-or-die final next weekend. The score sponsor here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, because Sandhurst are leading at 6-4-40 to 5-4-34. That is half-time. Local footy.
You know what's better than a Big Four bank?
A bank that's bigger. For me.
Bigger for making my money work harder.
And helping my business make it.
Bigger for helping us to buy a home.
Bigger for the community I care about.
My bank is bigger for what matters most.
As one of Australia's most trusted banks, millions of Aussies know that Bendigo Bank is bigger for them.
And we're bigger for you.
Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name is Daniel Bowman. I'm a cladding supplier. The company name is Architectural Cladding Supplies. We manufacture, produce basically any cladding sort of available that can be rolled out of a soft feed colour bond material. We target roofers, cladders, builders, really anyone that wants to sort of get involved with this type of cladding. We try to be a bit of a one-stop type roofing shop. We have all of them and some that the others don't have. We educate people how it's done and we sort of get it out there and make it happen.
G'day everyone, I'm the Suburban Footballer and I'm here to tell you to download the Local Footy Hub app. Inside this one-stop app, you will find live scores, fixtures, ladders, leading goal kickers and best players, game replays and highlights, latest news, player and coach interviews, shows, podcasts, and full team and player statistics. Actually, can I stop you just there for a sec? It says for all your team and individual stats. Like, just for argument's sake, if someone at my work got on the app, could they see how many possessions I'd had the week before? Oh, they can. Oh, I reckon, like, do you really need that? Footy's a team sport. Who cares about individual statistics? I reckon the rest of the app is great, can't fault it. But just get rid of that individual statistics bit. I mean, who cares? Download the Local Footy Hub app. Everything you need, all in one app, including individual stats.
Are you looking to promote your business? This could be a great way to reach the local footy community. How do we get your name out there? We can provide banner and native advertising in our news feeds and socials, reaching thousands of people every week. We can run video ads before every game replay that gets watched by thousands of people each week. We can run promotional videos like this one about your business during quarter time breaks for all of our live stream games. Contact us now to find out how you can book a trial.
great service and competitive prices, contact Fresh sponsor Steve and the team on 5472 1262 or info@stevebartygas.com.au.
Loving the weekend at Bendigo's Fresh FM. The Weekend Fresh News keeps you informed. We check out Shiloh Country and classic Saturday night requests. 101.5.
Heading down an open highway, those that seek and those that find, hidden fears fire back at me. Sand cold shivers racing down my spine. There ain't much that I remember. I sleep until the afternoon, waiting for the weekends to come round. Another private smoky hotel, stuck in this dead-end town. Nameless heads and nameless faces. They can try, but they won't bring me down. There ain't much that I remember. I sleep until the afternoon, waiting for the weekends to come round. To come round. Waiting for the weekends to come Heading down an open highway, those that seek and those that find, hidden fears fire back at me. Sand cold shivers racing down my spine. There ain't much that I remember. I sleep until the afternoon, waiting for the weekends to come round. To come round. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Waiting for the weekends. Waiting for the weekends. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Send for Victoria, Bendigo. Football finals are here again. You can watch the Dragons breathing some fire, and it's hot, so hot you can't stop, can't stop. The high-flying Hawks, just watch them fly by. The Bulldogs are ready to bite and bite and bite. They are unleashed, be warned. Watch out, watch out, watch out. There's a big storm brewing and it's coming your way. It's time for the mighty Bloods, because the door is open wide. So take your Bloods, come inside, take it. Get ready, it's time. Bendigo football, Bendigo FM, it's the place we wanna be. It's local football for you and me.
Live Saturday afternoon local football. Only one station. Supporters know, coaches and players know, and you know. It's Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Sponsor more live Bendigo football. And now it's time to fire up delicious Don Footy Franks. They're made for the footy. Is Don, is good.
It's the place we wanna be. More local football. And it's time to go back to the home ground on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Go local, go local footy, more local. Let's go. Fresh, let's go.
Local footy, the place you want to be. It's fresh live. Sandhurst and Gisborne from the Queen Elizabeth Oval. It's a cracking game of footy, which sees the Sandhurst Dragons leading 6-4-40 to Gisborne 5-4-34. It's a bit of a shootout in the goal kickers in this game. Maxted's got 4 for Sandhurst, and Pat McKenna's got 4 for Gisborne. The other goal kickers, Matt Wilkinson, Ollie Morris for the Dragons. That's the 6 and 5, so 11 goals kicked in this one. Other games in Bendigo footy: Broadford 2-1-13, Castlemaine 14-10-94. It is Golden Square 9-3-57 to the Storm 4-4-28. South Bendigo 7-6-48 to Kangaroo Flat 2-4-16.
And in the North Central Football League, a half-time scoreboard: 7 goals, 8-50 over Donald 4-3-27.
The Brought Magpies having a terrific run there. Liam Bianco, one of their players last week, had 68 disposals according to the Premier data. He was only 7 disposals off, I think, what would have been the record for for Victorian footy for the most disposals in a game. Mick, what was your highest disposal tally in a game if they took those things back when you played?
6. 5 kicks and a handball. There were a couple of times I managed to kick a couple of bags of goals, but yeah, I was never one that accumulated a lot of the footy, Cam.
Put him one out in the goal square and watch him go to work, is what they used to say. You've been looking at the better players in this game for the Gisborne Bulldogs. Who have you got there?
Yeah, it's Dylan Johnson for me on the inside. Benaki's been good, but not overly, hurtful for Sandhurst. Like, he's been getting his hands on the ball lots, but lots of handball, little dinky inside type of stuff. I'd like to see Benaki get on the outside and sort of start to stretch Sandhurst a little bit, but it's Johnson for me so far. Shapano, down back. Frankie, as they call him, he's rock solid down there. But yeah, it's sort of been, a bit of a team effort for Gisborne so far. Sandhurst, though, once they cleaned up their disposal, Jackson, they started to get on top.
They did, and Kobe Maxted led the way. He was the major winner of that. 4 goals in that second quarter. Clearly the best player, you would say, in that second term for Sandhurst. Nick Stagg has been terrific too. He's done such a good job with Brad Benaki today in a run with roll, which has kept him a bit quieter. Liam Island in that second term, he had a great smother at one stage, a reliable defender. He has been really consistent. And Matthew Wilkinson, throughout the game, has been reliable, particularly in the midfield, getting lots of the footy. So they've been the better players for me so far to half-time for the Sandhurst Dragons, who, by the way, have their Golden Dragon Day today, recognising various club sponsors and financial backers of the club.
Plenty of people down there as well. Steve Navort, you've been watching the game from ground level. How have you seen it from down there?
It's been hot under the contest, I feel. Both teams are trying their absolute hardest, and I feel like it's just been a case of momentum swings throughout the game, and just whoever's been winning it out the middle, I've found, has just been the one that's working it forward. Sandhurst got 4 goals in the first 8 or 9 minutes of that quarter, and majority of that was off the brunt work that they did in the midfield.
How are you seeing the game play out in the second half?
I still think Sandhurst is just going to win it. We're going down to the wire though, I reckon.
We were 2-2 up here. Steve and Jacko had Sandhurst. Me and you, Mick, had Gisborne. So I think on the basis of that 50-50 between us, it's a 50-50 game right now.
Yeah, I'd rather be in Sandhurst's position right now. Gisborne away from home. They need to win. Like, to put it simply, 3rd, 4th and 5th on the ladder, all on the same points right now. It's only percentage that separates all those teams. So yeah, it's a big last 60 minutes here at the QEO for Gisborne today.
Yeah, and with the Strathfield side potentially going down to Golden Square, they need to get their boots on to win that game. I tell you what, that would be a huge case of missed opportunity if Gisborne can't capitalise on that one today. So big second half to come, in not only here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, but for the Bendigo Footy League Finals Series. Implications on the line across this game and other games in Bendigo Footy. Umpire Goodrich has the ball in the middle. The second half from the Queen Elizabeth Oval will be underway. Sandhurst by 1 straight goal. Here's father Jackson Saunders.
Connor Sexton in the ruck contest to go up against Boyd Nolder. In the ruck contest, Dean Goodrich throws the ball off. Sexton taps it to Sandhurst's advantage, but James Gray sharks it at ground level. Sweeps the hand pass to the pull side wing. Finds Hannon. He sidesteps a would-be tackler. Kicks to half forward. Wanted Benaki. Couldn't find him. Instead, to the front position, it was Campbell Johns. Gisborne still across half forward, battle hard. Gray gets it, snaps around his body deep inside attack. Jackson Howard, though, takes it back for Sandhurst. He steals the footy across half back and finds Lachlan Wright, who'll look to clear for Sandhurst out of the defensive zone, up towards the swimming pool side wing. He goes high, he wants Sexton. Front position, though, was Nalder. He gets it, hand pass to James Coughlin, who was tackled, and we'll have a ball up on the outer side.
Half-time scores in the Maryborough Castlemaine League. Trentham 14-11-95, leading the Maryborough Giants 2-3-15, and it is Campbell's Creek 2-5-17 to Avoca 5-3-33, and of course it is the last round in the Maryborough Castlemaine District Footy League today.
As Benaki takes it now from the clearance. On the pull side, he does well, has support from Adam Brown-Catazano, who goes back to Benaki, hugs the boundary line as he runs forward, kicks to half forward. Island defends well. He's reliable. It comes to ground level, though. Now it's Gray who receives. He kicks long towards goal. Doesn't have the distance. McKenna's there. Offhands through for a rush behind. 5-5-35, the scoreline for Gisborne. Sandhurst 6-4-40. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's fresh live. And here's Cam Power.
Dragons will bring the ball back into play. Fergus Green's got himself down there to do the kicking duties for the Dragons. He runs out into the pocket, has a second bounce. Then he just launches it out into space. Not the greatest of kicks for Jimmy Coughlin. Blade Benaki read it best for the Dogs. He takes the intercepting mark.
It's been busy early in this third quarter.
Blade Benaki on the right. Inside forward 50 it goes. Needs some Luxmore to get up at it, and he almost got it on the second attempt, but the Sandhurst player in front brought it to ground. Another ball up left-hand forward pocket.
So Gisborne already looking far more dangerous, Jackson, with Benaki deciding to kick the ball more than handball the ball.
They're going to the Barnard Street end in this term of Gisborne. So far in this contest, 8 of the 11 goals have been kicked to this end, and Matthew Merritt has been given a free kick from that contest. So he will line it up about 5 metres in from the boundary line, perhaps 40 metres out from goal. Matthew Merritt, he was a 2022 Premiership player for Gisborne, and he set sails this straight over the goal umpire's green cap. A magnificent goal, and that is Gisborne 6. They're 6 goals, 5-41 to Sandhurst. 6 goals, 4-40, 3 minutes gone, third term. Score sponsor, Bendigo Bearings. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's fresh live.
Coming into this game, Merritt had only kicked 10 goals from his 6 senior games. We called upon someone else to be dangerous in Gisborne's forward line, and Merritt has stepped up 2 goals in the past 6 minutes of game time for Gisborne, giving them the lead.
Missed his presence at various stages this year has Merritt. Benaki takes it away for the Dogs. Will swing the handball out wide. Inboard they come. It works out with Brian Castellano. Kick was smothered though. Towards the boundary line it goes for Sandhurst. They'll load up through Harrison Free. Good kick to Smetzer. Smetzer marks. He'll wheel inside 50. Goes to the one-on-one contest. Maxted in a one-on-one. Vescovi did well. The Gisborne come back to lend some assistance here. Overrunning the footy a little bit though. They're able to pick it up though. Here's Will Elliott. Elliott's handball to a teammate who was tackled straight away, but he got back up and got it, did Will Elliott. Then he can chip into the middle. Dangerous kick. Fergus Green, intercepting mark for the Dragons.
He's got it. Centre wing. Broadcast side of the ground. Fergus Green, he is a great footballer, son of Chris, local legend in the Bendigo Football League. Goes very short to Nick Stagg, who's played at Sandhurst most of his career. Did have a short time at Kerrang in the Central Murray Football League. Kick goes long and high inside 50. Urata wants it, sidesteps off a would-be tackler, slams it on the boot deep inside attacking 50 and out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Maryborough Castlemaine League score Talbot 14-9-93, leading Lexton 1-8. And of course, that Harcourt Navarre game being abandoned today, as we heard pre-game from Mick Delaney. We're sending our best thoughts out to that young Navarre player after a bit of an unfortunate incident in the under-18s game.
Absolutely. Schmetzer gets to the front position, couldn't get clean hands onto it. Jacob Austin, 25 metres out from Sandhurst goal. Ball goes into dispute. And so we'll have another ball up at the 5-minute mark of this third quarter, the Premiership term in September.
He will. Knocking it down. Knocked out of there, Smetzer. Goes looking for Maxted. Has to get a bounce he was after. Paddled it towards the boundary line. Vescovi did not let him go. We'll get a throw in right-hand forward pocket. Always a good battle Probably seen Vescovi traditionally play on Fergus Green, but with Fergus Green playing a lot more defence/midfield this year, Mick, it's forced him to play on Maxted. Stephen Avort down at ground level.
James Coughlin's come off with a dislocated finger. They're just trying to put it back in place right now.
Smetzer grabbed it out of the ruck, threw it towards goal. Maxted couldn't quite mark it on the goal line. Vescovi does well, knocks it towards the boundary line, and we'll get a boundary throw in. James Coughlin, that would be a big one to keep an eye on down there. He looks like he might come back on though, you reckon, Steve?
He'll certainly come back on, just trying to put the finger back in at the moment.
Big warrior of a player, James Coughlin. I'm sure a little finger wouldn't stop him from getting back out there and battling for his side. Smetzer again takes it out of the ruck. Kick was partially smothered. Ureta has to make the tackle. Ball it up again.
He will, so it's 35 metres out from Sandhurst goal mouth, directly in front of the big stick. Smetzer taps it down, but Dylan Johnston gets the clearance. He sends it to Campbell Johns' territory. Ball eludes him. Instead, it goes to Dominic Sullivan. Loops the hand pass about 20 metres forward. Intercepted, though, by Wilson Butler. Does well. Combines with Sexton. And now through Jack Keating. His kick, though, no good. Turnover. Thomas Werner. Bulldogs press forward. Deep inside attack. McKenna had two against him, dropped the mark, goes to ground, manages to trap it to his advantage. He'll have to be careful he's not penalised. Umpire said it was legitimate, so we'll have a ball up. A good effort in the end by Pat McKenna, 35 metres out from goal.
Usually back McKenna in to take those marks as handballed away. Morris will clear the kick out of there for the Dragons, but it went maybe 15 metres high, not the required distance according to the umpire. Austin claimed the mark, sent it out wide. Now he's got some space for Connick to run into, but the ball didn't bounce for him at all. Turnover for the Dragons. Nolder got it for the Dogs. Fed the handball out wide to Riley Evans, who will go down the pull side wing. Evans' kick. Mills got in front of it for Sandhurst, dropped the mark, but he might have play on. Austin gets the footy. Thought I heard a whistle for a second then. Towards the boundary line it goes. Kept alive by the Dragons. They go looking for Stagg, but it's well read by Evans for the Dogs, who takes the intercepting mark. He'll swing it out wide, where it'll be in the hands of Werner, underneath the grandstand side wing here. Looks up. Rogers provides an option, but Werner's going to go more central back to Lockie Evans.
He does. He chips it to that man you mentioned in the orange boots, Lockie Evans, by hand to Vescovi. Takes the game on. Kick, bit of a shank, and miscued straight onto the chest of Liam Ireland of the Sandhurst Dragons. He's got it across half back. He concedes territory and goes to Caleb Connick. Foot pass is good to Fergus Green. Darcy Mills wants it, but Green instead opts to go across the ground. Had to be precise and was. Back to Connick. Still inside the defensive zone. It's taking them an eternity, it seems, to work it out. Henry Edwards had two against him. Dropped the mark. Gisborne take it back. And a good foot pass straight onto the chest of Pat McKenna was forthcoming there from Dominic Sullivan. Two formidable goal kickers for the boys from Gardner Reserve. They've been part of the Bendigo Football League since the year 2000, and Pat McKenna, one of the stars through that time.
There's a dead-eye, isn't he, in front of the goals, and here he is, 45 out, or closer to 50 out, 45-degree angle for his fifth today.
They've won 17 senior premierships throughout their club history, the Gisborne Football Netball Club. The Dogs, through McKenna, misses to the left-hand side and just to behind. The first of those flags, incidentally, was in 1909 in the Gisborne District Football Association, the most recent in 2022 in the Bendigo Football League. The score now is a 2-point lead to Gisborne, 9 into the third term.
Oh, Sandhurst just don't seem to know what the goals look like at the city end of the ground. They're yet to score a point down that end of the ground today through a whole quarter and 9 minutes. Morris picked up the footy. He was tackled straight away. Clough did well for the Dogs. Handballed it forward. Green read it for the Dragons. Back into the corridor they go. We've got a ball up. Good tackling from the Dogs here.
Winders picked back up on ground level, probably a little bit stronger than it was in the first quarter.
Heading towards the Barnard Street end, the breeze down there, Steve?
Yes, towards the Barnard Street end of the ground.
So that's something to keep an eye on. The conditions changing here at the QEO. Plenty of sun, but it's quite cool when the shade comes around if you're not out in that sunlight at the moment. All bouncing around at the bottom of the pack for another ball up. There's a free kick's been pulled up. What'd you see, Mick?
Holding the ball. Gisborne player made no attempt to get rid of the ball when tackled.
Cooper Smith has the free kick across half back. The skipper has been best for Sandhurst 7 times this year. Directs the kick into the centre effectively to Darcy Mills. Drives it inside attack. Wants Kobe Maxted, who rated there to gang tackled by Liam Rogers and co. And so we'll have a ball up and plenty of directions from the boundary for Cooper Smith from his coach Bryce Kerner, which you could hear through our effects mic. From the ball up, Vescovi attempts to get it in a contested situation, but to no avail. And so we'll have a ball up approximately 45 metres out from Sandhurst's goal, 11 minutes into the third quarter.
Nolder wins it down. Clough was first to it, but he couldn't quite take it. Picked up by Dragons. There was Lockhart in there, young Finley Lockhart. Called his name too many times in this game, I don't think.
No, I was chatting actually to his mother yesterday, Giselle Talbot, the principal of Marist College, and yeah, a bit of a spirited encounter there between players of the two sides, bit of a disagreement, bit of friendly fire, and now Stagg and Johnston having words, and there's a 50-metre penalty.
Steve, you're at ground level, what are you seeing down there?
Well, Wilkinson just got absolutely decked to the ground by one of the Gisborne players, so that was the reason for the 50. I'm not quite exactly sure why the fight broke out in the first place. I think there was a little bit of heavy contact off the ball.
So Wilkinson's been marched straight to the goal line, and he's going to slam his second goal of the day through in a big goal because it's their first score to the city end of the ground. Matt Wilkinson, 11 minutes into the quarter, 7-4-46 Sandhurst, 6-6-42 Gisborne. The Dragons take the lead back. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
Their first score or first goal to this end of the ground this game, and probably a little bit fortunate. The free kick, however light it was, perhaps was there, but yeah, just a little bit of undisciplined play there by Gisborne, giving away the 50-metre penalty, and which led to a easy shot from the goal square. Wilkinson's second of the day.
Mick there. Strathfield Storm are not coming back. Golden Square 10-3-63, leading the Storm 4-4-28 out at Wade Street. So the Dogs are looking very nicely out there at the moment in that game.
A 4-point advantage to Sandhurst here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Through that Matt Wilkinson goal. An exciting and enthralling encounter this afternoon here from the home of country footy. As out of the centre, James Gray's kick was smothered. It ricochets towards centre wing for the Sandhurst Dragons. Oliver Morris gets the loose ball, snaps around his body off the left boot to half forward. A courageous effort by Rogers, surely caught high by Charlie Robinson. Umpire said no. He had perfect view of it though.
Thought he marked that.
So we'll have a ball up. Well, various possible interpretations. Ball's thrown up. Schmetzer knocks it down. Toe poke towards the boundary line. And the friendly fire is getting intense here. Rogers' toe poke went out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throwing.
Jeez, he was very lucky not to get pinned there for a bit of insufficient intent, I think, Mick. No one within the direction of where he toe poked that ball off the ground.
I don't think I've seen one deliberate paid this year, Cam.
Oh, I've seen a couple. It was a pet peeve of mine for a long time, but I would like to have seen that one paid. Those real obvious ones. As Wilkinson picks up the footy, just got through. It's hacked out of midair by the Dragons. Coming up, Lockhart couldn't quite take the mark. Spills to the back for the Dogs. Going to be a little clearing kick from Frankie Schifano. Mark is taken by a diving Nick Stagg. 55 from goal. Stagg on the right. Sends it in. Wilkinson sits in the hole. He knew some contact was coming, and he held his ground and took the mark. And Wilkinson will go for his second goal in what will be second goal in about 2 minutes for him after kicking the last one off to 50, and for his third of the afternoon. He's the Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award winner from earlier in this year against Eagle Hawk. So he might be on for another one today the way he's going. Matt Wilkinson, 45. Will kick from about 40 metres when he releases the footy. Slightly to the right of goals, but a player of his class does not miss. And the Dragons have opened up a nice little lead here. 8-4-52, they lead it by 10 points. Gisborne 6-6-42, the score sponsor is Bendigo Bearings.
Pretty tough to find goal-kicking midfielders, but Wilkinson, that's his third of the day, starting off in the midfield and then working his way forward. I really, really like his game. He can use the ball really well, finding those 45s when Sandhurst looked to switch the ball inboard and open up the far side of the ground. So he has definitely taken his game to another level.
Field umpire John Norton has the footy, a 10-point advantage to the home side of Sandhurst. As Connor Sexton taps it forward decisively, about 20 metres straight down the corridor for the Dragons. Rata there applies a good tackle, and we'll have a ball up, an appeal for holding the ball, but that was never going to be awarded. but you have to admire the support of the crowd from the Sandhurst perspective as Matthew Wilkinson sweeps the hand pass to Urata. Great reflex, slammed on the boot, paddles it along the ground, 10 metres out from Sandhurst goal. It's dangerous. Vescovi feeds it out. Burke did well. He's got it in the defensive line. They'll work it out here, the Bulldogs, to half back. Sandhurst have numbers. It was knocked away from Brand Catasano. Edwards and Howard defended beautifully, and we'll have a boundary throwing right in front of our broadcast position. So much at stake here this afternoon. A Sandhurst win would secure top spot for the 4th year in a row, and Gisborne, well, they want to put the edge on Sandhurst.
They do. Free kicks out of the ruck contest here is going the way of Sexton, I reckon, for being held by the opposing ruckman there, which at that time was Carnell. So they handball off to Connick. Wobbles one inside forward 50. Maxted got out, dropped the mark on the second attempt, and then he went to ground. Gisborne dive on top of the footy, and they just want to hold this one up. Stagg burrows in after it like a little rabbit, and he's pinned him holding the ball. Sandhurst player on the bottom of that pack might feel rather aggrieved, I reckon, there. It's Nick Stagg that's going to get up. Might have been, can't see who the player at the bottom of the pack was that got penalised as the Dogs clear it into the middle through. Clough plays on, just gets boots a ball away. Down the line it goes. Mark taken here for Island of the Dragons. So Island with the intercept mark. Short pass was good. Henry Edwards has it here for the Dragons. Being instructed just to kick it down the line. Edwards does just that. Needs a big contest. Urata got up. Couldn't quite take the mark. Umpire says it was unrealistic. Thought he might have got hands to it. Play on advantage. Harry Thomas emerges with a footy. Sends it inside forward 50. McKenna being held. Umpire says no. Playing on. And we'll get a ball in. Left hand forward pocket. Good fly that from Urata. Rather stiff to get penalised, I reckon, Mick. Wasn't too far off.
Nah, it wasn't far off, but didn't get a hand to it. And by the letter of the law, it's a free kick.
Newstead 10-9, 69 to Natty Bialaba 4-3-27 in the Maryborough Castlemaine District League at half-time.
Only Kobe Maxted and Zach Vescovi in the front half for Sandhurst. Most players inside, attacking 50 for Gisborne at the present moment. Now Merritt, his kick smothered. Great work by the Sandhurst defence. They are under siege here, Gisborne in attack. Sandhurst relentless, but the whistle's been blown. Free kick to go to Dylan Johnston. In fact, he was the one at the bottom of the pack at first, but it has been given to James Gray instead. One of 3 interleague players for Gisborne this year. He was caught high, and I fancy he's going to kick it around his body off the right boot. It seems to be a trend in modern day football, and I can see why, because James Gray nails it. 7-6-48. They're back to within 4 points. 8 goals for 52 as Sandhurst. Don Smallgoods is Don, is good. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live, and here's Mick Delaney.
Probably one of the few times that Ferg Green's made a mistake today or throughout the course of the year. Just tried to balk and get around one too many defenders. James Gray laid a nice tackle dispossessing him and led to the set shot on goal around the corner, and we're back to 4 points.
There was players I was wanting to take on in the league. James Gray wouldn't be on that list, I don't reckon, Mick. He is a terrific and very physical player as well. So Gisborne need another one, I reckon, though. They want to have themselves in front at three-quarter time to be a good chance at this one. Keating gets it out of the contest for the Dragons, sends it out wide. Coughlin emerges with the footy, finds a teammate. They'll work it forward. Will it bounce for Urata? It bounced a little bit awkwardly for him, picked up nicely for the Dogs, and handball towards the boundary line from Harry Thomas. And there was no one in the vicinity of that handball, so umpire Goodrich says, Mick Delaney, you're going to see one now.
Kangaroo flat on the comeback. They're only down 6 points midway through the third.
Urata spoke to him pre-game, lovely fellow. As he kicks, he was up and about in the rooms pre-game. Wanted Kobe Maxted, got Hansel, just couldn't complete the grab. Dylan Johnston in defence on top of it. Field umpire John Norton says, give it to me, we'll have a ball up. 20 metres out from Sandhurst goal. They're kicking to the city end. It's been the non-scoring end today. There's so many players around this contest, you can hardly see the footy. Ash Smetzer got the hand pass out. Gray is opposite number 10, slammed it on the boot as he was tackled in air. Got it up towards Nick Stagg. Chance now for Campbell Johns of Gisborne. He does well. And Gisborne suddenly have a bit of space. He takes a bounce here, does Dominic Salomon. He goes to Hannon. Players presenting themselves. The loose one is Harry Luxmore. He fumbles. He recovers. He snaps. He hoists the kick high to the right-hand side. and a behind. Goal umpire Richard Murphy had to work overtime, and Gisborne go to 7-7-49. Sandhurst 8-4-52. But gee whiz, Cam, an exciting passage of play reflective of the time of year that we're approaching. September finals footy.
Luxmore have a bit more time than what he thought there, you reckon, Mick? Or
No, it was not a great handball over the top to him that ended up hitting the ground, but we may be waiting a little while. It's held the cars up on Barnard Street. The ball's currently parked right in the middle of the road.
So while we're getting the ball back, other scores in Bendigo footy at the moment. Golden Square by 35 points over Strathfield Say, and a 1-goal lead to South Bendigo. Kangaroo Flat are coming back hard in that game.
Kangaroo Flat have just kicked a goal. It's now level.
Yeah, it is. So in the third quarter, Kangaroo Flat have now kicked 5 goals, 1 to no score from South Bendigo.
Just want to give a Loddon Valley score update. Maiden Gully 52, Calival 12, Maccorner approximately 10, and Bridgewater approximately 126. So I believe at this rate Maiden Gully will make finals.
So that's an interesting call. Maccorner. What's the margins that they need to rely on a percentage out there, do they, Steve?
Maiden Gully need to win and make up 7% on Maccorner if Maccorner lose, which looks likely at the moment.
And how much are Maiden Gully leading by?
40 at the last point I know of, so I don't know what the 7% will be at the end of the day, but they need to make up 7%.
That'll be very close.
What would 7% roughly equate to, Mick?
7%.
Harrison Free, meantime, not sure how to respond to that one, Cam, as he kicks about 60 metres out of the danger zone.
I'll get back to
half back, and Dayton Urata was the intended target, but instead it was Hoosh Schmetzer who was awarded a free kick. He was pushed, so he's got it at half back. Schmetzer down the line, traditional kick, wanted Maxted. Defended well though by Gisborne across half back. Nick Stagg got the ball at the deck, but was tackled by Liam Rogers. Ball up, field umpire John Norton throws it aloft. He wastes no time. Johnston, Merritt, Sockers, toe pokes, Keating. Got hands to it, ball ricocheted off his body. Urata there too, Dylan Johnston. He's tackled by Urata and Matthew Wilkinson, and both of them can take a bow because they've created a turnover on centre wing on the grandstand side. And Harrison Free too amongst it, the recipient of this free kick.
Terrific by Free. A free kick.
As it stands right now, Cameron, Maiden Gully will make finals by 0.5%.
You got the live ladder going there, do you, Mick?
Just the rough numbers inside my head, yes.
There you go. That would be a fascinating one. To keep us up to date with that, Steve Navort, across the day. That's a cracking race to that last spot in the finals in the Loddon Valley Footy League. We'll get a ball up right on the paint of 50 here. Sandhurst out wide. Wilkinson read it best. Does he go goalwards? Matt Wilkinson. Well, he might have been, but it's gone out of bounds. In fact, it didn't even float out of bounds on the full. It bounced in play, which is a win for Sandhurst to keep it locked down their end of the ground. 24 minutes into the quarter. Sandhurst have had 2 goals this quarter. Gisborne have kicked 2 goals as well, but the lead sits at just a mere 3 points.
Merritt and Maxted await the opportunity in the ruck contest. Maxted takes it out of the ruck. He gave the hand pass. Straight though to Will Elliott, who clears for Gisborne, goes to half back, pulls side, wanted Larksmore. Hannon there at ground level, attempts to get the footy, and a whistle has been blown. Free kick will go to Hannon across half back for a hold. He's got it for the Bulldogs. Assesses various possibilities. Exactly 24 minutes gone in the third term. Short kick for Dominic Sullivan, and that'll be 50 because he was decked after he took the mark. So he'll be able to approach right up to centre wing, and no one's manning his mark. I think he might play on. He's taken the advantage. That was loose checking by Sandhurst. Long and deep. Oh, McKenna, he got hands to it, just didn't quite complete the grab. Ball hit the surface of the QEO, and it's locked up at ground level. We'll have a ball up 15 metres out from goal.
That was smart by Sullivan there. No one went to the mark, so he just kept going.
Another one for Golden Square. They're leading 12-3-75 to the Strathfield St Storm 5-4-34 in that game at Wade Street. So the Dogs, is it too early to call that one, Mick?
Definitely.
75-34 is a nice lead. 3 points here at the QEO is the difference. Gisborne are in attack. Probably need to be in front, I reckon, at three-quarter time just to give themselves that small advantage. Umpire Norton crosses his arm, says we'll ball it up again inside forward 50. They will compete. Can Gisborne get a goal off this stoppage? Sexton won it down. Benaki's handball to Clough. Couldn't quite control it. Johnson got through. Was he caught high? Umpire says yes, he was. Norton says too high. And Dylan Johnson will line him up 35 out directly in front.
Kangaroo Flat have hit the front, 7-7-49. South Bendigo 7-6-48.
Kangaroo Flat. So is that 5 goals? That's an incredible scoreline, Mick, at the point that where they were at half-time in that game.
Yeah, so South Bendigo were leading the contest by 5 goals midway through the second quarter.
Johnson's kick doesn't quite make the distance. It's going to fall short here, so they keep it alive. Smith tracks after the footy for the Dragons, fended off a tackle, then got some space, sends it down the poolside wing. No one in particular on the end of this footy, so it's just going to sit up and wait for someone to come to it, and it's knocked towards the boundary line. At half-time, Mick, it was Kangaroo Flat 2-4-16 to the Bloods 7-6-48. And now as we approach three-quarter time, Kangaroo Flat 5 goals 3 to no score of South Bendigo in the third quarter to lead by 1 point. So that is amazing scorelines. And can Kangaroo Flat keep it going?
Hopefully.
Boundary throw in. Matthew Merritt took it out of the ruck and plays on immediately to half forward. Fergus Green gets in the way, he gets it back for the Sandhurst Dragons. He's been good today, loops the hand pass over the top to Liam Island, then to Caleb Connick, to half back Jackson Howard. Spectacular football. Cooper Smith in the centre circle, advances to half forward with that kick. He found Finley Lockhart, dropped it. Charlie Robinson takes the advantage, one bounce, runs goalward and puts it through. Excitement plus from the Sandhurst supporters. Our score sponsor is Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's fresh live, and Sandhurst advance to 9-4-58. Gisborne 7-7-49, and here's Mick Delaney.
Big goal that by Robinson heading into three-quarter time. There can't be long left in this quarter, but Robinson, he's played 5 goals, he's played 5 games, kicked 3 goals, probably none no bigger than that one.
Sold some candy on the way into that one too. That's what really got the crowd up and going. To Charlie Robinson. It's a nice lead for the Dragons now. It's slammed out of there from Smetzer. Who can get on the end of it? Oh, it's almost a mark. In fact, it is a mark. Dayton Ureta. He fell on his back. He took the footy. He plays on quickly. Not sure that was the right option, but it's going to work out because a terrific grab has been taken. Floating forward, James Coughlin. Wasn't that some sort of passage of play? Coughlin will line him up. 25 out directly in front. And this will be a huge goal if he can slot this one through. The margin currently sits at 9. It'll be a 15-point margin if he can kick this one. That'll be close to being game high, I reckon. He comes in. James Coughlin never liked it off the boot, through for a minor score. 59 plays, 49, 28 minutes into the third quarter.
Red Dragons just come up on the boundary, probably telling them to slow it down just in the last couple of minutes.
Zach Vescovi brings it back in, often entrusted with kicking duties to Frank Chaponi. A number of Sandhurst reserves and under-18s players behind him on the back of a ute there at the city end, supporting the Dragons. As they bring it back inside attack now, here's Sandhurst, James Coughlin, Jacob Austin. Hand pass goes astray. Brad Benaki was good. He had support across half back. Vescovi clears up towards centre wing. Kick though was miscued and out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will be taken by Darcy Mills from the outer side. Here at Queen Elizabeth Oval with Sandhurst up by 10 points.
Three-quarter time in the Heathcote District Footy League as well. It is Colburn Abbon 8-8-56 to North Bendigo 5-8-38 in that one. Of course, it is the start of the final series in the Heathcote League. Fergus Green will send it inside forward 50. Mark will be taken at the back of the pack here by Carnell for Gisborne. So Carnell's got it. In no rush to try and send him forward, I don't reckon here. Carnell went looking for Clough. Might have got a clip around the ear. Umpire says play on. Ball hits the bottom of the pack. Again, we'll have a ball up. That Red Dragon, as Steve mentioned before, is flying high for Sandhurst, being held up by Bryce Kerno on the bench. One side red, one side green. Unless they're playing funny buggers, I reckon we can figure out what that means as the little dribbling ball goes over the boundary line. 29 minutes played, third quarter. Dragons by 10 points.
Could be a grandstand finish coming up in the last quarter. Stay tuned. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live. Boundary throwing. Smetzer tapped it down. Kick inside 50 from Sandhurst. Long and deep. Dayton Rater, he gets the footy, feeds the hand pass to Maxted. He'll look for his fifth. Open goal beckons, it's hit the post. And just a behind. Sandhurst 9-7-61. Gisborne 7-7-49. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live. 9-6-60 in fact the scoreline. So 11 points is the lead to the home side.
Vescovi plays on, goes down the poolside wing. Went looking for Luxmore, who's been well held this afternoon. It was Howard that played in front of him and knocked it towards the boundary. So we'll throw it in centre wing. 30 minutes just ticked over in this one. Sandhurst and Gisborne. A preview that we will probably see come finals time. Looking likely these two sides will match up. Not sure where they'll match up, but they should match up come finals time as Johnson goes towards the boundary line for throw in. Thrown 60, playing 49. Sandhurst and Gisborne. The last time these two sides will do battle in a home and away season of Bendigo Footy League. Clough sends it in wide. Can he find a target? It's bounced off the intended target. Knock forward for the Dogs. Here's a chance. They can send it inside forward 50. Merritt goes looking for McKenna and he gets him. Diving to the ground. He marks 15 out directly, or 25 out directly in front, is to bring it back to a 5-point margin.
31 and a half minutes gone. I'd say the siren will go any second now, but this is big for Gisborne. A little bit of momentum heading into the last quarter.
South Bendigo responding a little bit, Mick. 8-8-56 to Kangaroo Flat, 7-7-49. So lots of momentum in that one. McKenna for a big goal for Gisborne to keep them in the contest. McKenna kicks truly. He's got 5, and the margin now comes back to 5 points. 8-7-55, playing 9-6-60. The score sponsor, Don Smallgoods, is Don is good.
Just a flat-out champ, isn't he? Pat McKenna will be missed in the Bendigo Footy League and watching a player of his quality, but yeah, nothing is surer than when he's lining up for goal anywhere within 40 metres. He's got one of the nicest set shots on him.
3 goals apiece in this third quarter. It's been a great term for footy, that's for sure. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Local footy, the place you want to be. It is Fresh Live. Back in the centre field, umpire Dean Goodrich throws the ball aloft and it's whacked down out of the ruck contest by Lucas Carnell for the Gisborne Bulldogs. As the siren sounds for the last interval, Sandhurst leaded by 5 points, 9-6-60 to Gisborne, 8-7-55. A massive last quarter coming up.
In the Maryborough Castlemaine District Footy League, Avoca, who went down to Campbell's Creek earlier this year, leading 7-5-47 to the Creek 3-6-24. Steve Navort's at ground level.
Just a Loddon Valley score update. Maiden Gully 84, Calverville 33.
That is going to come right down to the wire, of course. They're going to need make up 7% on Bridgewater and McCorner, but at last track, Bridgewater were nearly 100 points clear of McCorner. Was that right, Steve?
Just over 100 points clear, so it'll be tight.
That is going to be a fascinating finish in the Loddon Valley League. Finals have already kicked off in the Heathcote Footy League at three-quarter time. Colburn Abbott 8-8-56 leading North Bendigo 5-8-38. Other games in Bendigo Footy, it is the Broadford Kangaroos 3-2-20 to Castlemaine, who are leading that game relatively controlled here. Is a blackout on the scores here, so we'll come back to that one. It is three-quarter time in the Bendigo Footy League. It is Sandhurst 9-6-60 to Gisborne 8-7-50, Castlemaine 123, Broadford 20, Golden Square 12-3-75 leading Strathfield Say 5-7-37, and Kangaroo Flat 7-8-50 to South Bendigo 8-8-56. The final quarter in a 5-point ball game in a final shaping matchup, Sandhurst and Gisborne. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's
You know what's better than a Big Four bank?
A bank that's bigger for me.
Bigger for making my money work harder.
And helping my business make it.
Bigger for helping us to buy a home. Bigger for the community I care about.
My bank is bigger for what matters most.
As one of Australia's most trusted banks, millions of Aussies know that Bendigo Bank is bigger for them.
And we're bigger for you.
Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name is Daniel Bowman. I'm a cladding supplier. The company name is Architectural Cladding Supplies. We manufacture, produce basically any cladding sort of available that can be rolled out of a soft feed ColourBond material. We target roofers, cladders, builders, really anyone that wants to sort of get involved with this type of cladding. We try to be a bit of a one-stop type roofing shop. We have all of them and some that the others don't have. We educate people how it's done and we sort of get it out there and make it happen.
G'day everyone, I'm the Suburban Footballer and I'm here to tell you to download the Local Footy Hub app. Inside this one-stop app, you will find live scores, fixtures, ladders, leading goal kickers and best players, game replays and highlights, latest news, player and coach interviews, shows, podcasts, and full team and player statistics. Actually, can I stop you just there for a sec? It says for all your team and individual stats. Like, just for argument's sake, if someone at my work got on the app, could they see how many possessions I'd had the week before? Oh, they can. Oh, I reckon, like, do you really need that? Footy's a team sport. Who cares about individual statistics? I reckon the rest of the app is great, can't fault it. But just get rid of that individual statistics bit. I mean, who cares? Download the Local Footy Hub app. Everything you need, all in one app, including individual stats.
Are you looking to promote your business? This could be a great way to reach the local footy community. How do we get your name out there? We can provide banner and native advertising in our news feeds and socials, reaching thousands of people every week. We can run video ads before every game replay that gets watched by thousands of people each week. We can run promotional videos like this one about your business during quarter time breaks for all of our live stream games. Contact us now to find out how you can book a trial.
Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place. Specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales, and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor the Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure and service guaranteed.
Sponsor more live Bendigo football. And now it's time to fire up delicious Don Footy Franks. They're made for the footy. Is Don, is good.
It's the place we want to be. More local football. And it's time to go back to the home ground on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Go local, go local footy, more local. Let's go. Fresh, let's go.
Three-quarter time at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Sandhurst 9-6-60, leading Gisborne 8-7-55. Myself, Cam Power, and Father Jackson Saunders heading out the call. Mick Delaney on special comments as well. Father Jackson Saunders and John Hunter is here as well. Steve Navort's down at ground level. Other scores in Bendigo footy. Castlemaine by 103 points over Broadford. It is Golden Square 75 leading the Storm 5-7-37 and a one-goal lead to South Bendigo 8-8-56 to Kangaroo Flat 7-8-50.
And it's Sport leading 11 goals 10 over Donald 7 goals 7 at three-quarter time in the North Central Footballs League.
Eve Navort's at ground level with the Sandhurst coach Bryce Curnow.
Bryce, what was the key message for the boys there to help you win the game?
It was more just around last week. We didn't finish off the way we wanted to. We just need to run and back ourselves in. They brought a few boys back in that have been off for a while. Just got to challenge them. That's couldn't be clearer. Just got to work really hard.
Thanks for your time, Bryce.
That was Steve Navort at ground level, one of the Sandhurst co-coaches, Bryce Curnow. As we enter the final quarter, who wins from here? Mick Delaney.
I still think Gisborne. I reckon they've got a big last quarter in them, but this is our prototypical finals type atmosphere, isn't it, Father Jackson? You've got a close game, plenty of supporters at ground level, the footy's been hot, another 30 minutes of this. What's not to love?
Well, there's so much to get excited about in this last term. Gisborne will remember that Sandhurst upset them at Gardner Reserve on their home soil early this year. They want to do the same in this last term. They trail by 5 points. Here's Cameron Power. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live.
Big final quarter to come. Morris took off with the footy and got caught high, so he'll receive the free kick in the centre. So Morris receives it. Looks backwards to see if he has someone running through. No one comes through, so he's forced to chip it out wide. Keating never misses a kick. Finds Cooper Smith. Handball's back to Keating. Down the line he goes. Well, it went over the head that time of Hugh Smetzer. But the Dragons have worked it out forward. Stagg's going to get a flying shot towards goal, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. And the Dogs will bring the ball back into play, trailing by 5 points, 45 seconds into the final quarter.
Zach Vescovi will bring it back in. One of 5 premiership players from the 2022 premiership side for the Bulldogs today out on the park. Sandhurst, meantime, have 10 premiership players from their grand final victory 2 years ago out on the QEO today as Vescovi kicks it long all the way to half back for Riley Evans, who opts to go short, and the kick is effective for Lucas Hannon. Grandstand side here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. 9-6-60 Sandhurst plays Gisborne 8-7-55. And Sandhurst have got a flood, so he's forced to retreat to Zach Vescovi, who's back inside his defensive 50. So Sandhurst are making it immensely difficult for the Bulldogs to transcend their defensive 50 arc. Comes to Luxmore. Good. His kick wants Werner. He had the opportunity to complete the grab, but had a bit of a fumble. And the 2 Sandhurst players, Harrison Free and Finley Lockhart, locked him up, so they've trapped the ball across half forward.
Knocked down here, trying to win the ball out for the Dragons. No one able to find a way through. Hits the bottom of the pack. The repeat ball up. Trentham 21-16, 142 to the Maryborough Giants, 3-4-22 in the Maryborough Castlemaine League. So a nice lead for Trentham, looking to defend their premiership from last year. Ball out wide. Urader was clean at ground level. Stepped around one. Got on his right. Sent it inside forward 50. Went looking for Maxted and a one-on-one for Vescovi. Stagg was reading the play well at the front of the pack. He handballs a long way backwards to Keating. Keating's handball to a teammate. It'll be Cooper Smith who went back towards Keating, but getting in the way for the Dogs was Thomas Werner. And we'll have a ball up. 60 out from goal. Pull side off the ground here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval.
Ball is thrown up in the ruck contest. No clear winner. Sexton gets boot to ball. Inside 50 with the kick. Great work from Vescovi. He kicks a penetrating 70-metre pass all the way to centre wing on the pull side. Liam Ireland almost got it back for Sandhurst, but the ball ricocheted off his body and out of bounds. So we'll have a boundary throwing. 9-6-60, plays 8-7-55. Sandhurst lead by 5 points. They're looking for their 13th win of the season. They've lost just the 2 games this year. From the boundary throwing, Sexton knocks it down, but Benaki sharks it. He takes it to half forward. Picked up in the half volley beautifully there by Bran Catazano. Inside 50 now for the Bulldogs. Jackson Howard got the ball. It missed the intended target, Harry Luxmore. Spectacular snubber from Fergus Green's kick. Hannon did everything, then gave it off. Kick from Luxmore across the face. The accidental assist. And Pat McKenna has it. Well, Harry Luxmore, no doubt, went for goal, but in fact unintentionally gave it to McKenna, and this could be a good goal assist.
That's all started by Lucas Lennon, that forward 50 smother, then the quick handball up to Luxmore. Now got Pat McKenna looking to kick his 6th, which he does.
Pat McKenna has put it through, and Gisborne go to 9-7-61. Sandhurst a 9-6-60, a 1-point advantage to the visitors. Score sponsor Don Small Goods is Don is good. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live.
Sometimes it's lucky to be skillful, or lucky to be lucky than skillful. And we just saw it there. McKenna, right spot at the right time. And for the first time in quite a while, Gisborne have hit the front.
How did Pat McKenna mark that ball though? There was a player on the goal line for Sandhurst that probably should have got first hands to that, am I right, Mick?
Yeah, it looked like it was going over, and then the wind held it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You'd probably take the no-risk approach and just kill it. But back in the middle here, Wilkinson emerges with it for the Dragons. Can they get the next one? They send it inside forward 50. Shallow bouncing ball. Keating picks it up. The man that never misses a kick. Keating sends it in the Maxted direction. Maxted got hands to it. Couldn't quite take the mark. We'll put that down as a Maxted drop mark as opposed to a Keating poor disposal, I reckon, Mick. Out wide for the Dogs. They work it out. Thomas's kick was smothered. It spills out wide. It'll be a banana-ing shot at goal, which will come here from Lockhart. And he's missed. Into the post it goes. So scores a level, 61 apiece, 5 minutes into the last quarter.
Just his second game for the year. He kicked 6 goals in the first encounter for the Sandhurst Dragons, playing at centre-half forward. A rising player through the Sandhurst ranks as the kick from Benaki, the 2024 Mickelson medalist, was effective, went to half-back, found Lucas Hannon, who's rising with ascendancy as this game goes on. He gets it to James Gray. He is tackled, though, beautifully by Oliver Morris, who played under-18s here for Sandhurst and has stuck around at the QEO. Ball's thrown up in the ruck contest. Sexton tapped it down, but it's sharked by Thomas Werner. He loses control of the footy. Terrific tackle from Matthew Merritt, although he was caught high, was Dayton Urata, according to field umpire John Norton. So Jackson Howard has it, and that'll be 50, because the man on the mark overstepped in his eyes. Not everyone agrees, but the key point out of all that is that Jackson Howard will be 50 metres closer to goal and may even be able to have a crack himself.
I really dislike that rule, how the person running from behind can't man the mark, but for Jackson Howard, it's a big kick at goal. 14 games this year. He's kicked 4 goals, predominantly playing as a key defender. Geez, there's no bigger time than this.
Absolutely, for his 5th of the season in the penultimate round. 7 minutes almost ticked by in this last quarter. So much at stake. Howard directly in front. So good. 10-7-67 Sandhurst. Gisborne a 9-7-61. Our score sponsor is Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy, the place we want to be. It's Fresh Live, and this is the voice of Mick Delaney.
There's been a couple of things that have gone against Gisborne today, whether it be the bounce across the goal line or little bits and pieces of free kicks and what have you, but this will be a true test of character as to whether they can come back against the odds and win this one.
A lot of the scoring's been done at the other end. Steve Navort, ground level.
Maiden Gully 104, Calverville 33. McCorner are also losing to Bridgie by 172 points at the moment.
It's a big lead for Bridgewater in that one. So Maiden Gully looking like they might sneak into the finals in the Loddon Valley Footy League. Wilkinson emerges with the footy out of the centre for Sandhurst as they look to kick back-to-back goals to put it out over a single kick margin inside forward 50. No one able to take the ball cleanly. Bit of ball up inside forward 50. The Dragons have kicked 10-7 in 3 quarters after failing to score in that first quarter. Ball up, knocked down Nolder. No one able to really get any clean look at that footy. Wilkinson had his head over it, but he was tackled. We'll have a ball up. Umpire Goodridge will throw the ball in the air. Knocked down. Lockhart got the footy, snaps it around his body. No mark taken, knocked away for Gisborne, but it's going to be picked up and slammed towards goal from Robinson. He snuck it through for a minor score, so it might be an important minor score as it's now out to a beyond 1 goal margin. 68-61, 9 minutes into the final quarter.
So good to be with you. Round 17 action in the Bendigo Football Netball League. Long penetrating kick for Gisborne comes all the way to half back, and it's with Will Elliott. He's got it on the swimming pool side. He hesitates, he daddles, he's not sure what to do. Eventually his kick was miscued. Sandhurst have got numbers. Charlie Robinson helps to press, helps to get the footy back for Sandhurst. Dayton Urata there too. Free kick, high tackle. It's going the way of Dayton Urata, who has given it 100% and more in this contest, particularly in recent moments. His kick though, well, perhaps a bit too enthusiastic. It was smothered off the mark. Ball just ricochets to ground level. Merritt, you can hardly see the footy. There's so many around it. Werner does well. He evades a few would-be tacklers. Helps to get it out. Kick is turned over. Wilkinson, 55 metres out, sends it goalward. 5 metres out. Vescovi, last line of defence is good. He handballs to his own advantage. Creative. He got away from 2 Sandhurst footballers, and Vescovi can take a bow. He's got it to centre wing. Wants Lachlan Evans. Jackson Howard, though, gets it back. Harrison free to Wilkinson. The intensity of the crowd is immense on centre wing as it's wrapped up on the grandstand side, a ball up.
How about the handball to himself from Vescovi, Mick? That wasn't that impressive.
Loved it.
And it's set up perfectly as well. Out of the contest, the Dogs will slam it forward through Thomas Werner. Well read by Liam Ireland. Ireland in the stream down there, takes the mark, he'll send it out wide. Oh, dangerous kick though for Fergus Green. Made him work, he's dropped the footy, back-heeled it out of there to Green. Turnover for the Dogs. Throwing his head over the footy for Gisborne and not being rewarded. McKenna at the bottom of that pack.
For all of Liam Ireland's great qualities and courage, kicking's not one of those good qualities.
Put him down as the handball only type player, you reckon, Mick?
Yeah, I'd be running past with the handball.
Knocked down. Track after it, Benaki. He balks one way, then the other. Sells some candy, sells it again. Forces the handball back wide. They'll chip inside the 50. Mark will be taken 40 out directly and for 50 out directly in front of goal by Campbell Johns. Doesn't like the distance. Tough distance to kick in these conditions. Umpire calls him to play on. Doesn't even give him his 30 seconds to have a set shot. He has to go with a short pass inside forward 50. Merritt did well. Gave it off to Benaki. Benaki chips into the pocket. Going backwards with a fly to the footy will be Ryan Burke, and he'll mark under the scoreboard. So Ryan Burke has the opportunity to bring it back to a 1-point margin. Tough kick from here. Hard up against the boundary.
12 games this year, he's only kicked the 2 goals. So much like Jackson Howard, has spent a lot of time in defence this year. Big kick.
Tough kick from here. 11 and a half minutes into the final quarter. Right on the scoreboard. Goes the drop punt. Uses the breeze that floats across the face. There's a mark that's being claimed, but it's off hands for a minor score. 62-68. 11 and a half played final quarter. 1 goal the margin. The Dragons lead.
Harrison free to bring it back in for the Sandhurst Dragons. They're going from the city end as they clear the defensive zone, attacking to the Barnard Street end. So far in this last term, there's been a goal apiece kicked by both sides. Harrison free directs it to Wilkinson at defensive side of centre wing, grandstand side, fisted behind from Will Elliott. He sends it back towards half forward. Wilkinson gets the crumb. Hand pass though straight to Benaki. The sheer strength was good, and he got the hand pass away and was also caught high in the process of that encounter. So Bradley Benaki, 70 metres out from goal. You can hear through the effects mic all the directions. The enthusiasm, the foot pass is good. Goes short and finds Dominic Sullivan. 55 metres out from goal, a possibility.
He's got a big leg.
So Sullivan, though, unselfishly sees an option. Gray in the pocket. Well, I don't think he took the mark. He tried to disguise it. It surely was a half volley. About 4 juggles. On the 3rd juggle, I reckon it scooped off the turf, and the field umpire has made the right call. We will have a ball up. He was tackled, but a good effort by Gray to try and persuade the umpire into thinking otherwise.
I reckon the 3rd umpire might have to infern in that one. Luxmore's going to get it off a handball. Luxmore bananas it towards goal. Hits the post. Big moment. Steve Navort, ground level.
Still a very strong breeze blowing towards that Barnard Street end of the grandstand. Still have to utilise that to help them win this game.
Dragons by 5 points, 13 minutes into the final quarter.
Could just be a simple tackle, a turnover. Who knows? This game is so close. So much to play still. As Sexton was the intended target across half-back. Terrific effort by Shapano as he was tackled, and we'll have another ball up. Right in front of our broadcast position, field umpire Dean Goodrich will resume proceedings with the ball up. Tapped down by Carnell. To no one's advantage, bottom of the pack, and another ball up on the boundary. Stephen Navort.
Connor Sexton has just come from the field limping a little bit. Suspect he might have a cramp or something in his right hamstring. He's just down the pickle juice.
One to keep an eye on. Smetzer won it down. Johnson fed it off the first tackle, couldn't fend off the second. And he was caught holding the ball. You can hear the crowd getting involved in this one here. Charlie Robinson, he's had a few moments in this last and 3rd quarter as well. 14 minutes, they lead by 5 points. Robinson launches it down the line. Maxted will set himself from 3 back, couldn't quite take the mark. He was 3 back the outside, couldn't quite take it. Sandhurst will get it. Coughlin will spin around the body, slams it inside forward 50. Howard got the bounce. He was crunched in a tackle. Umpire's called high, and a free kick is gone against Gisborne. Not sure there was a lot in that, Mick Delaney, but it's going to be a free kick and it's going to be taken by Jacob Austin.
Yeah, I'm looking at that from the same angle you are, Cam. I didn't see much in that at all.
It looked like he went really low. It was an aggressive tackle, but Austin has the chance to kick the goal. He'll have to kick it from the boundary. 35 out directly in front on the left. It starts left, it stays left, but it puts that margin back to an even goal, the difference. 10-9 plays 9-9, so that's 69 to 63. 15 minutes gone, final quarter.
Bradley Benaki, the former Essendon VFL listed player, will bring the ball back into play. This would be a huge boost for Gisborne's confidence if they could win this afternoon. They've won 5 premierships during their time in the Bendigo Football League, 2002, 2003, 2005, 2006 and 2022. They'd love to make it 2026 as well as Benaki goes to Gray. Turnover though, Coughlin, hand pass to Urata. This would cost Gisborne hugely. Sandhurst have an 11-9, 75. Unselfish by Coughlin. And some more to play from that passage too. Dale Caldwell, or Dean Goodrich, has picked out a free kick. And it's going to go for another shot at goal, I think. So they might have a chance to kick a second goal here. Oliver Morris for something off the ball. So I see that as a goal being added a moment ago and possibly a second goal. Am I viewing that correctly?
Yeah, you're spot on. Again, ill-disciplined by the Gisborne player there, knocking Morris down after the goal was kicked, and it'll result in another shot on goal. In a 2-goal game as well, you cannot afford to be doing this.
Absolutely. 11-9, 75 is the scoreline. After that, Dayton Urata goal a second ago to Gisborne, 9-9, 63. So 12 points is the advantage, but Oliver Morris has been, throughout his career, a handy goal kicker. He has kicked 21 this season, one already today. That goal came at the 1 minute mark of the second term. In fact, it was the first goal for the Dragons today, and it looks like we're looking for a replacement football because the current Sharon is somewhere on Barnard Street, it appears.
Someone put it in their car and took off with it, I think. Mick, Golden Square, 14-5-89 to the Storm, 5-8-38. Are we putting that game down yet?
Yeah, you can put a fork in them now.
That's a big result for Golden Square and a big result for the finals in Bendigo footy as we wait for the footy here. Gisborne miss out on an opportunity, but they can still remain in the hunt for a top 2 spot despite not winning today. And it keeps Eagle Hawk alive as well for a potential of them jumping into the top 2 as well. So plenty to play out in the last round and in the last 15 odd minutes of round 19.
Dower Park 2, Cam, South Bendigo up by a goal halfway through the last.
And Campbell's Creek are coming back at Avoca, 7-10-52 to Avoca 9-5-59.
If Oliver Morris kicks this, the Sandhurst crowd will erupt. Kick from 40. The reaction tells the story. 12-9-81, plays 9-9-63. Our score sponsor is Bendigo City Framers. Ollie Morris now has his second of the afternoon. Local footy, the place you want to be. It is Fresh Live.
Again, just ill-disciplined there by Gisborne. It's been a finals type game today. You can't afford to let your head play out the way that one did. Knocking a Sandhurst player to ground. Morris smart by hitting the deck, getting the free kick, and within 10 seconds of gameplay, Sandhurst go bang bang, and it's a 3-goal margin now.
So that was a full-time score to Avoca against Campbell's Creek. Avoca 59, Campbell's Creek 52. In three-quarter time, Newstead 86 were leading Natty Bialaba 40. Gisborne need a response, but it just takes a lot out of their chances with those 2 goals off ill-discipline. Sullivan fends off the tackle, swung around on the right and hits the pass inside forward 50. Campbell Johns, why was that mark not paid?
Not 15.
I've seen about 20 kicks today that have gone less distance than that one, Mick. Anyway, we'll move on. Campbell Johns, disappointed not to be lining up for a goal. Smetzer takes it out of the ruck for Sandhurst. He slams it out of there in the direction of Austin. 81-63. I feel like Sandhurst have almost done enough in this one now, Father Jackson.
That's my instinct too, Cameron. By the way, 2 years ago, it was Sandhurst by 4 points in the grand final against Gisborne. So the Bulldogs will not have forgotten that day, particularly in this final year, 2026, of their stint in the Bendigo Football League as they exit our league for the Ballarat Football League next year. From the boundary throw-in, another stoppage. We will have a ball up. 12-9 plays 9-9. 3 straight kicks is the margin. Sandhurst lead. They attack in this last term to the Barnard Street end. It's been the scoring end today. Ball up and bit of a stoppage, and the loose ball was picked up by James Coughlin, who's been awarded for his efforts with a free kick. So Coughlin chips it to Nick Stagg, who has been terrific today, the veteran, the 35-year-old, the multiple premiership player for the Sandhurst Dragons. Switches to Liam Ireland. He was part of their last flag too, along with Stagg and Maxted, 3 of the 10 players out there today from that premiership side 2 years ago. A win today, which looks likely for the Dragons, will secure top spot and a week off in the first week of the finals. In the purple boots, Jackson Howard hoists the kick to half forward, goes to the back of the pack. James Coughlin taps it to his own advantage. And he's been given a free kick, I think. He was pushed, decked after he had the footy. So James Coughlin, the son of Frank, the former St Kilda footballer, goes to half forward unselfishly, as is his nature, and gives it to Jacob Austin, who has been good today. So far, he has not troubled the goal scorers, but in 2026, he's nailed 13 for the season.
Smart of Austin here, even though he might not have the distance in him, he's taken his full 30, takes some time off the clock. Whether he lowers the eyes or not, I'm not sure, but yeah, it just makes it all the more harder for Gisborne from here.
Jacob Austin from beyond the paint of 50. It started to the left and stays left, A behind. He'll be disappointed with that. 12-10-82 Sandhurst. Gisborne 9-9-63 in the 22nd minute of the final quarter.
Gisborne will bring the ball back into play. It'll be Gray. Goes for McKenna, knocked away from him by Lockie Wright, who I reckon he's done a relatively good job this afternoon in those one-on-one contests in the air. Sullivan will spin the ball out wide. Here's a chance for Gisborne. They get some space here where they'll find Hannon. Hannon inboard. Sets it out in the direction here of Gisborne player going after the footy there, which was Luxmore. He was appealing for a deliberate. We'll get a throw in. It was Maxted that socketed it towards the boundary line. Centre wing position. 82-63.
3-1 have been kicked in this last term. Sandhurst on top, obviously, as James Gray gets the footy. His kick partially smothered. Ricochets to centre half forward. Fortuitous fist pump by Ryan Burke. Goes about 20 metres forward. Picked up by Lucas Hannon. Good work by Gray. Hand pass forward to Ryan Burke. Maybe hope still. Could have been if he'd kicked that Burke. He kicked it across the face and just to behind. Back to 18 points. 19-64 Gisborne. Sandhurst 12-10-82. 23 minutes gone last term, and here's Stephen Navort on the boundary.
Boyd Nadler just coming down after that contest there for the Bulldogs. He's just come off the field.
Thanks for that, Stephen Navort on the boundary. Local footy, the place you want to be. It is fresh live. Meantime, the ball has gone out of bounds on the swimming pool side across the attacking side of centre wing for Gisborne. The score is Sandhurst 12-10-82, Gisborne 19-64.
Yeah, you feel like the Dragons have almost done enough in this one. Gisborne need to kick 3. There's been too many goals kicked to that end of the ground this afternoon. They send it forward though. Mark taken by Sullivan. 55 out from goal. Need to get something, Gullivan. Sullivan wants to draw a handball, decides against it, chips it into the pocket. Poor kick. Maxted turned around, couldn't quite take the intercept. Mark hit the ground, then he's dragged it back in. Just got the ball out in the nick of time. Umpire Hilson waved his arm around and then eventually says, I will ball it up inside the forward 50. Gisborne simply must score off this play if they are any chance in this game. It's thrown up, knocked to ground by big sexy Sexton. It goes towards the ground. Taken away by Sullivan, who just got boot the ball, but a strong tackle is rewarded. Terrific from Sandhurst. Oliver Morris. For a small player, he is so strong with the way he tackles Ollie Morris. And he was rewarded with a free kick holding the ball. And I reckon Sandhurst will go into their run the clock down mode very, very soon.
I think that's an accurate assessment of how things will unfold. Cameron, that's a great mark that has been taken by Matthew Wilkinson, who gets up a little proppy. I really like Matthew Wilkinson, such a consistent footballer. for the Sandhurst Dragons, who's been in their best 9 times prior to today. I dare say it'll be a 10th time for the year when the votes are counted later, as Ireland receives now to Green. They've retreated all the way to full back to Kobe Maxted. It's an interesting manoeuvre for Sandhurst. They go backwards to press forwards. Maxted goes long and high. Big crunch of plays. Dayton Urata was fearless going back with the fly of the ball. Campbell Johns got it loose at ground level to Dylan Johnston. High kick up to the top of the goal square. A dangerous locality, especially when Pat McKenna is in amongst it. And he took the contested grab 15 or 25 metres out, to be precise, from goal on a 45-degree angle.
He's jogged back quickly, wants to get on with this. He kicks this, they're back within 2 straight kicks with about 5 minutes left.
So Pat McKenna, he has kicked 5 goals today, this for goal number 6. His kick, McKenna, is good. He has nailed it. And that is an important goal. Local footy, the place we want to be. It is Fresh Live. Our score sponsor is Don Small Goods. Is Don, is good. And our score sponsor has been said. Sandhurst 12-10-82 to Gisborne 10-10-70.
Not too bad a day for McKenna. 7 of Gisborne's 10 goals. Merritt's kicked another 2, but yeah, they probably lacked another 1 or 2 forwards to be able to hit the scoreboard down there.
Sullivan's been half dangerous, but he hasn't hit the scoreboard yet for him. Back in the middle we go. Can they win this next one and get it out? James Gray will emerge with the footy. Gets into some space. He hits Shane Clough. Clough's got some space. He'll wheel around onto the right. Clough loads it to the top of the goal square. What's Vescovi doing down there? He almost got towards it. It's bounced away from him. And now the Dragons through Maxted, who ran himself into some trouble, just got the kick away in the nick of time. Burke picks up the footy, handballs into Sullivan. Sullivan kept the ball alive for the Dogs. Johnson over the top. Here's a chance if they can get through. Luxmore, gone, got rid of it, just play on, says the umpire. James Gray, he tries to send it towards goal. McKenna didn't get the bounce he was after. Fergus Green just says, I'm not worried at all, and handballs it through for a minus score. But it might be an interesting point if Gisborne can kick 2 more goals. 71-82, 27 gone, final quarter, 11 points the margin.
It's about 4 minutes of game time left.
Still plenty of time for both sides. Fergus Green awaits various possibilities. Goes short to the back pocket for Liam Island. Sandhurst created a whole heap of space as they seek to clear. Bryce Kerno barks instructions as co-coach from the boundary. Liam Islands kick smothered on the mark beautifully. Frank Catasano, McKenna metres out from goal, tackled. Fortunately for the Sandhurst supporters' sake, Lachlan Wright take a bow. We will have a ball up 10 metres out from home. 82 plays 71. 11 points is the Sandhurst lead. Gisborne deep in attack. About 3 minutes of game time left. Merritt sidesteps, he weaves, hand pass taken away by Free, and a stoppage. We'll have a ball up, awfully close to the boundary line.
There are 16 Sandhurst players inside Gisborne's forward 50.
Wilkinson's about to step in and make it 17, I reckon, Mick, as they tap it towards the boundary line. Benaki keeps it alive, and interesting you said earlier that they should maybe not let Island do the kicking out of defence. He made another kick that was smothered. 82-71. Now or never for Gisborne. They need one off this clearance from this stoppage, I reckon. Boundary throw in. What can we get on the end of it? Matt Merritt's gone up in the ruck. Sexton got to the front, won it down. Smith's kick went out. Didn't quite find an intended target. Ball hits the bottom of the pack. And because there's every Dragons player, barring 2, in this one, it's just going to recreate a ball up. Umpire Hilson has been pretty good this afternoon, I reckon. Merritt down. Kembanaki gets stoppage side. He threw his head back and he's going to get penalised holding the ball free from a high tackle, sorry.
Oh, if it kicks this, 45 out straight in front. It'll be a 5-point game.
It was Dayton Urata, the offender. Do you reckon he threw his head back a little bit there, Mick, to make the umpire notice it?
Definitely did. But that's okay, that's part of the gamesmanship. He wins enough of the ball.
So Brad Benaki can line up from just inside the 50 on the right to keep the game alive. He slots it. 5-point margin. We're in for a ring-a-ding-ding here. 11-11-77 plays 12-10-82. And the Dragons by 5 points, but Gisborne have kicked the last 2. Score sponsor is Bendigo Bearings.
Steve Navort.
Wind has died down on the field here, so it looks like we're going to get a bit of a 50-50 going forward.
Just a quick one, Jackson. If Gisborne didn't give away that free kick at the start of the quarter that resulted in a double goal, they'd be up by a point right now.
Quite possibly, and let's not forget the Dylan Johnston goal that we thought was a goal, but was instead deemed to be still in the field of play. So it's a very interesting proposition, potentially, what happens with the final scoreline as Johnson takes it out of the centre. He kicks to half forward. Pack develops, lots around the contest. Maxted does well, gets the clearance, works it to Wilson Butler. Stagg in the centre, dropped the mark he could have taken. Gisborne a chance, the intensity immense to half forward. High ball, good defensive spoil from Sandhurst. Harrison free on Luxmore. Ball up from a great Luxmore pressure act from his opposite number, Harrison Free. So we'll have the ball up. 82 plays 77. 30 and a half minutes gone last term. Ball to be thrown up. Sexton taps it down. He wants Benaki. Can't find him. Now a chance. Stagg in underneath the football. Urata there, slams it on the boot, and he clears it up towards centre wing.
Might be coming back because there's two Gisborne players here. Thomas is one of them. Handball further forward, trying to find his way through. Will be Hannon. Clever little handball was good. Sullivan gave it off to Johnson. Johnson gets the 50 on the left, launches it to the goal square. Knocked through by Liam Ireland.
30 seconds left, lads.
That was smart by Liam Ireland. No risk. And Sandhurst get the ball back, leading by 4 points. 31 minutes, 30-odd seconds to go in the hands of Fergus Green.
So Fergus Green with the kick-in duties. It's a 4-point advantage to the Sandhurst Dragons. Green a high kick, hospital kick, hangs a long time there. Wilkinson with a big fly, off hands. They get it forward here to Sandhurst, and that's just a kick for acreage from Darcy Mills all the way to half forward. 4 points is the Sandhurst lead. He gets his own kick, does Darcy Mills. He takes it inside 50. He goes with a short foot pass to Charlie Robinson, who has taken the mark 25 metres out from goal. Awfully close to the boundary line, and this will seal it surely.
That was so smart by Darcy Mills there, just kicking it into the paddock, running onto it, taking his time, lowering his eyes and hitting up Charlie Robinson.
So Charlie Robinson off the right boot, opens up the angle. It's across the face though, and just a behind. 12-11-83 plays Gisborne, 11-12-78, 32 minutes gone last term.
Do they have enough time to go end to end?
I was just about to say that. There can only be seconds. Benaki's just going to have to launch it. He looks up. He goes wide. Interesting decision to not go down the middle, but the mark's been taken by Burke, so they're going to take on the pull side wing. Burke's kick out wide to a teammate, off hands. They track after it. It's in the front there, knocked away. Burke went again for the Dogs, picked up by Jimmy Coughlin, who tried to fend off the tackle. He's done holding the ball. So Gisborne have to get and go. 83-78, 34 minutes gone. There can only be seconds remaining. Vescovi picks up the ball. There was only seconds remaining. And Sandhurst and Gisborne play out another classic. And if that's what we're in for come finals, then I'm all for it. 83-78. The Dragons win by 5 points.
Well, a good victory, that's for sure. Just to repeat those final scores, Sandhurst 12-11-83 have downed Gisborne 11-12-78. And Sandhurst in that last quarter, well, they were level pegging as far as goals are concerned to Gisborne, 3 goals apiece. But when it matters most, Mick, it was Sandhurst that were on top at the final siren.
Yeah, absolutely. What a cracking game that was. Gisborne jumped out to an early lead. Sandhurst didn't kick a goal in that first quarter. Much the same as what happened at Gardner Reserve earlier this year. Sandhurst fought back in the second quarter. It was the key forwards that were going at it, McKenna and Maxted in that first half, and then it was an arm wrestle. Perhaps some ill-disciplined plays by Gisborne led to this result being the way that it was, but you're absolutely right, Father Jackson. This is an absolute preview into what September action has in store in the Bendigo Footy League.
Their 13th win of the season for Sandhurst secures top spot on the Bendigo football table, so that earns them a week off in the first week of the finals. Obviously, it's round 18 next weekend in Bendigo footy, so a really important couple of weeks coming up for Sandhurst. For Gisborne, on the other hand, well, they'll be disappointed. That's 2 losses this year against Sandhurst, and they could and most likely will renew encounters with each other in September.
Yeah, you'd most likely think so. But, you know, we had the 1 point game last week. Strathfield saying Sandhurst. Sandhurst again today, 5 point winners rather against Gisborne. This is finals type footy, and to know that you can win ugly, it's vital for September action.
We'll head down to the Boundary. Local footy, the place you want to be. It's Fresh Live, and Cameron Power is with Nick Stagg.
Our Bendigo City Framers Best On Ground Sponsors Award winner today, Nick Stagg from the Sandhurst Dragon. Nick, congratulations, and what a win.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was we probably made that a lot harder than we could have there, but it's credit to Gisborne. They're a bloody good side, so we knew they were going to keep coming. So it sort of shows, I guess, a little bit that we were able to hang on as well as last week, that we can sort of play our game styles late and hold on. But yeah, I'd rather next time that we maybe have a couple more goals on the board late.
They always seem to have patches in games where they really get on top and they hit the scoreboard. They're really dangerous down there. So what was it that made you guys really hold on in the end?
Yeah, you're right. And it doesn't help that Paddy McKenna seems to not miss every time he has a shot on goal. But I guess it's just late when we get that ball. You can see we're trying to control the ball, bring the momentum back our way. So yeah, it was lucky we got away with this one today.
Staggy, we'll let you go because they've got the award over there for the headspace. There's our award from Bendigo City Framers, $100 voucher.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Cameron, down on the Boundary with Stephen Novort. Local footy, the place you want to be. It is Fresh Live. Mick, your final observations from today's thrilling victory to the Sandhurst Dragons by 5 points.
Good teams know how to win ugly. And Sandhurst again today, as Staggy just said, he would much prefer them to have more goals on the board and to play a little bit more cleaner, but you take those wins and, you know, they work their rear ends off, and as a result, they get to play next week and then they get the rest first week in September. Is that going to set them up for a real crack come September finals action? You know, they're going to have sore bodies. That week off can do wonders, can't it?
Absolutely. Goal kickers today for the Sandhurst Dragons. It was Kobe Maxted, the kick 4, Matthew Wilkinson 3, Oliver Morris 2, and then 1 each to Jackson Howard and Dayton Ureta for Gisborne. Pat McKenna kicked 7, 2 to Matthew Merritt, 1 each to James Gray and Bradley Benaki. Just repeating that final score. Sandhurst 12-11-83 have downed Gisborne 11-12-78. We thank our broadcast team for this afternoon. Ray Pinner for his technical assistance, John Hunter. We thank the Sandhurst Football Netball Club for hosting us this afternoon too. Next weekend, it's round 18 of the Bendigo Football Netball League season, and we'll be at Camp Reserve in Castlemaine for the clash between...
You know what's better than a Big Four bank?
A bank that's bigger. For me.
Bigger for making my money work harder.
And helping my business make it.
Bigger for helping us to buy a home.
Bigger for the community I care about.
My bank is bigger for what matters most.
As one of Australia's most trusted banks, millions of Aussies know that Bendigo Bank is bigger for them.
And we're bigger for you.
Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name is...
You know what's better than a Big Four bank?
A bank that's bigger. For me.
Bigger for making my money work harder.
And helping my business make it.
Bigger for helping us to buy a home.
Bigger for the community I care about.
My bank is bigger for what matters most.
As one of Australia's most trusted banks, millions of Aussies know that Bendigo Bank is bigger for them.
And we're bigger for you.
Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name is Daniel Bowman. I'm a cladding supplier. The company name is Architectural Cladding Suppliers. We manufacture, produce basically any cladding sort of available that can be rolled out of a soft feed ColourBond material. We target roofers, cladders, builders, really anyone that wants to sort of get involved with this type of cladding. We try to be a bit of a one-stop type roofing shop. We have all of them and some that the others don't have. We educate people how it's done and we sort of get it out there and make it happen.
G'day everyone, I'm the Suburban Footballer and I'm here to tell you to download the Local Footy Hub app. Inside this one-stop app, you will find live scores, fixtures, ladders, leading goal kickers and best players, game replays and highlights, latest news, player and coach interviews, shows, podcasts, and full team and player statistics. Actually, can I stop you just there for a sec? It says for all your team and individual stats. Like just for argument's sake, if someone at my work got on the app Could they see how many possessions I'd had the week before? Oh, they can. I reckon, do you really need that? Footy's a team sport. Who cares about individual statistics? I reckon the rest of the app is great, can't fault it. But just get rid of that individual statistics bit. I mean, who cares? Download the Local Footy Hub app. Everything you need, all in one app, including individual stats.
Are you looking to promote your business? This could be a great way to reach the local footy community. How do we get your name out there? We can provide banner and native advertising in our news feeds and socials, reaching thousands of people every week. We can run video ads before every game replay that gets watched by thousands of people each week. We can run promotional videos like this one about your business during quarter time breaks for all of our live stream games. Contact us now to find out how you can book a trial.